Good morning. It's day 4 of the ACL Under-19 Championships for 2025 in Melbourne at Noble Park North at the Lindale Cricket Club. Again, we thank them for hosting the function. It's a little bit overcast, a little bit cooler today, and I think we're all pretty happy about that. It was a stifling hot day yesterday, and the first match today means a lot. It is a Pool B match. The Lankan Lions have already qualified for the final. If they win today, they remain undefeated. They'll finish on top in their group. And they take on the Kiwi Warriors, who if they win, they will qualify for the finals. The Afghanistan Eagles played 2 matches yesterday, won them both. And they're in second position at the moment, but they have an inferior net run rate to the Kiwi Warriors. Before the match gets underway, as we always do, we'll go out to the middle of the ground, and the pitch is in great condition. Luke's done a wonderful job, and Suhas is there with the 2 captains.
And it's hit. It's toss time, a gelid morning, and the cloudy side is definitely contributing to it. The sky may change its mood very, very soon. But we've got Kiwi Warriors alongside the captain of Lankan Lions. The 2 captains, Kiwi Warriors, Sujan would head the Lankan Lions affair, and our match officials to oversee the toss, Ash Burrows and John. Let the coin go up now. Yeah. Hills is the call, and it's hit. What have you decided to do and why?
We're going to have a bowl first this morning. The pitch looks to be a little bit soft on top, so hopefully it'll dry a little bit, but also some pretty primo swing bowling conditions today with some cloud cover, so yeah, looking forward to bowling first.
Doesn't get better than this when you had to compare home conditions, does it?
No, just a little bit more of a tinge of green on the pitch, but yeah, no, looking forward to it nonetheless. Got some good swing bowlers, so hopefully the boys can do a job up top.
How's the mood in the camp after the last game?
Yeah, a little bit of tiredness setting in, but by the time we set foot on the field, we'll be awake, so yeah, we'll be ready to play, ready to go.
Any changes in the side though?
Chevy's going to be our impact player today, and Josh comes in to the batting lineup.
Give us a lovely game, Ethan.
Sweet, will do. Thank you.
Had the coin fallen in your favor, what would you have?
Probably had a ball first, but it doesn't matter. Seems like a good pitch. We played well yesterday, so yeah.
Do you think it'll change? The surface will change as the day progresses?
It'll definitely get harder throughout the day. So it's cloudy conditions, but when the sun comes out, it'll get harder.
Enjoyed captaining yesterday. That side is it the same side today, or you have changes?
We're bringing an extra batsman in. Imets will come in as a batsman, so yeah, that's the only change.
And any number that you want on this rack?
We'll go 130. We'll try. Yeah, 130 would be a good score actually.
All right, have a fantastic game, Sujan.
Thank you.
So the news from the centre. It's the Kiwi Warriors who won the toss, and they say they want to be bowling first.
Thanks, Suhas. So New Zealand have won the toss. They've elected to bowl. One change. Josh Campbell comes back in the side, and their impact player is going to be Mystery, if required, number 7.
Mystery. Did you say Mystery?
Yeah, Mystery. M-I-S-T-R-Y compared to M-Y-E-S-T-R-Y, but he's a mystery player, so he's the impact player. We should call him the mystery player.
Mystery. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Grant. How are you, mate? Good to have you with us.
Isn't it nice to see it a little bit cooler today, a little bit more overcast? Look at the teams.
Yes, the Lankan Lions, including Hulan Gamawua, Akith, Crandell Sigelman's had a great tournament. Salwathura, one of the batters up the top of the order. Hetty, Arachij, Krishna Sridhar, Lenny Wilton, Max Diaz, Nigel Munasinghe, Reshan Senaviratna, and Imaf de Soiza. The New Zealand team, including Ethan Campbell, Adam Wood, Arana Cronenstone, and Sam Payne's another important member of their side. He batted really well yesterday. Jerome Robinson, of course. and Timothy O'Leary, our man. It was good to catch up with the New Zealand boys who just lost narrowly yesterday, but if they win today, Grant, they're through.
And a shout out to, is it Mr. and Mrs. O'Leary? We know you're listening or
Yes.
watching from over in New Zealand. Spoke to your son yesterday, very impressive young man, of course. I still think he'd make a great prop, but he won't buy into that. He's not playing rugby anymore. He's making a fist of cricket, which he's doing a really good job. He's having a good time, Mum. So, shout out to you.
They're lucky they haven't got too many injuries. They've only got 12 players here, but they are enjoying themselves, you're right. And full credit to you yesterday, Grant, for having a chat to the young man Bassi, who dropped a couple of catches, but you were very positive with him, and well done. And I'm sure he would have learned from that. He looked absolutely crestfallen.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. He was sitting away from the team, and he's a bit quiet. And no one means to drop catches. Thought, just a little word in his ear would help, and I hope it did. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this game, Dan. I've really enjoyed watching the New Zealand team play, and there we go.
Here's Adam Wood with the Jeff Thompson style. Pulled away, might nearly be caught. No, just bouncing in front of the fielder at mid-wicket. Would have been the ideal start for the Warriors to get a wicket with the first ball. And that was onto him a bit quicker. He didn't get it anywhere near he wanted to get it on that occasion.
And look at that. That's been a trademark of the New Zealand fielding so far. They really have a dip, and it was good talking to Woods yesterday. He said, heard you talk about this Jeff Thompson. So we had to look at what how he bowled, and he said, yeah, my action is like him.
I just thought, how old am I? De Souza is in the team today, and he faced that first ball and almost perished. And he's opening with Salwathura, who's ready now for Wood, round the wicket from the northern end. And it's a no ball. He pulls across the line to mid-on. None for two. One legitimate delivery, so we get a free hit early days.
Ash Burrows, the umpire, first-class umpire down at the northern end. And he'd be disappointed with that free hit this early, but what's my theory been on free hits? At the moment, there's been hardly a run scored off a free hit. In fact, often the player gets out. So let's see if we can break that trend with this free hit.
Talking to the Afghanistan Eagles officials about that. Slipping a gully in place, and he was on the advance. No ball.
Oh, no.
Just overstretching the young man. Another free hit.
And my theory on free hits, at least get a run. Yeah, it's better than not getting anything.
I quite liked the attitude then of Salwathura. He went down the wicket on the walk like Matthew Hayden used to in an intimidatory style, and he missed it, that's all.
Woods moved his marker back.
And beats him outside the off stump. Kept a little bit low. Well taken by Robinson, doing his first year of wicket keeping too. He chatted to young Jerome, and he loves it because you're in the game the whole time, and he's taken it like a duck's taken to water.
I think he said, didn't he say that he used to be a spinner?
Yes.
Yeah, used to be a spinner, and maybe wasn't getting as many overs as he liked, so gone to keeping and doing a good job.
Sam Payne in at slip. O'Leary in the gully. Wood bowls again, and no ball on the back foot, and they'll get a run as he clubs it to mid-off, overstretching for the third time. So a little bit of a concern for the young man. He just has to get that front foot right, put it behind him and start again.
Oh, you can't see it. It must mean that he's not in rhythm. It looks like he's in rhythm. He's coming down, moving nicely, smoothly to the crease, but now what he's got to do is play a bit conservative here. Just get the ball at line of length, get his confidence going into this so that he recovers this, because this is the third no ball, third free hit. Now surely the third free hit's going to score a run. Now they've changed. Have they changed ends? Looks like the fielders are adjusting. Fielding.
Well, they've taken the slip and the gully out for De Souza, who looks to pull the next one. and he plays it along the ground in front of the wicket and gets his second run. 2 from 2. He's obviously a bit of a cross batter, De Souza, the new opener today for the Sri Lankan team. They've made a couple of changes and they're none for 6. Only 3 legitimate deliveries so far.
We've seen the teams, there's been a direct correlation between the teams that have kept their sundries down and winning the game.
Slipping the gully back in place for Salwuthra with Wood bowling to him, and he flat bats it. He took, I think, pace off that and might have even, did he hit the stumps? He did. He hit the bail on the way through, but obviously good news for De Souza. He hadn't backed up sufficiently to cause himself any angst regarding a run out from a ricochet off the bowler's hand, but well done by Wood to stick his hand out then.
See if he does get a hand on it, because I think he's out of his crease from live view. Yeah, he didn't touch it.
No, he didn't touch it.
He was well out of his crease.
Yeah. Hit the bail. Pushed down behind square. So 3 from 3 De Souza, just getting one on the thigh pad, and he knocked it away.
This is why playing days in a row is so good for young cricketers. Wood has been in really smooth form. He's been very well balanced. Even then, he just had a stutter step as he went through, so he's not quite sure. And my point is that 3 days in a row means you have to concentrate for 3 days in a row. When you play longer form cricket, you have to back up each day, and trying to be consistent across the 3 days is something that's a real skill.
Bowls again, it's on the leg stump and it's flicked away. Behind square by, that's a leg by off his thigh pad, Salwuthra. And there were 3 no balls in that over. 3 free hits, so a 9-ball opening over from Adam Wood. And it is none for 6, yes, after the opening over.
Yeah, that's an interesting case that where
None for
you've got players playing 2 to 3 days in a row, a couple of games a day in some cases, and it's not so much the skill level that changes, but it's the level of concentration that changes. And I know there's not as much long form cricket these days, but it's these types of tournaments that help when it comes to concentrating for longer periods of time. And we talked a lot in the last couple of days about managing your game management. We saw a couple of cases last night where, had there just been a simple rotation of strike, chance of getting 20 or 30 more runs, putting the informed player on strike.
It didn't matter in the end because they were probably never likely to get them, were they? But never likely to probably set enough of a target. But so the second over, past Bassie. Hit on the pads. I've got a feeling that might have just gone down leg side. It's straightened up a little bit. That's a good start. Great seed.
Let's take a look at the replay. It's a good decision, yeah, probably just missing leg. Yeah. Umpiring's been excellent.
Outstanding. None for 9. Path in again, and he was looking to work that away through the onside. He left his crease and he didn't really connect again and hit the pad and rolled away. He gave himself lots of room. Salwuthra.
It's good to see Path of opening the bowling, get him into the game early, and started very well.
Good news for the New Zealand senior team. Made 362. High scoring one day game. They're into the Champions Trophy final. Path bowls again. This is hit long and high, lofting over the infield. Two fielders in pursuit. Good effort to try and stop it, but it rolled away. Unfortunate then. I thought they were going to get there. Boer had his teammate just in front of him who just wasn't able to stop it from...
This went a long way in the air. It sort of plugged, and I thought he was going to stop that. He did all the hard work, got there. Campbell, is it?
Yeah, Josh Campbell, yep.
And just couldn't reel it back in, but great try.
Boundary to Salawarthra. None for 13. He's got 6. He's hit on the pad this time.
Oh, boy.
That was a bit straighter than the previous one.
I thought so too. This will make a very interesting replay. Did it jag back too far? Let's take a look. Angle. Yeah, I'm happy with that decision again. Good decision, umpire. That's John. At this end, which is the southern end of the ground. Good. Umpire still concentrating too, and they had to go through tough day yesterday in the heat.
Very definitive, isn't it? Straight away. He gave himself room, didn't he? Salwarthra, and that probably he exposed his stumps, but it was a...
You talk to umpires, like they go in and out of form too, just like players, and sometimes they just aren't quite seeing them as well as others, but at the moment John's seeing them extremely well.
I just wonder whether the international umpires go in and out of form a bit more because of the technology that they have at their disposal nowadays. Vassy bowls, good bowling, hanging the bat out to dry to Soiser, and he didn't really have much idea of that one, short of a length, and he had minimal with any foot movement. Good bowling, none for 14 after 2.
And well bowled, Path Bassey. Really, really good job there. He maintained a line of length, a couple of really close shouts, beat the bat, and the one boundary only in that over. Really good over, well bowled.
So Wood to continue, had a few issues with the front foot in the previous over. Look at the Sri Lankan boys, all underneath the tent. Seem to be having a lovely time. Lenny Wilton with the pads on. Might be a chance of playing for Casey South Melbourne this week in the ones. Wish him all the best. Had a good year in the twos this year. One of the highest run scorers. Wood bowls, and it is clubbed away again. Again on the move. Salwarthra trying to charge Wood, and he succeeds in getting another run. None for 15.
And an early call on the wicket. This is his second day on this strip, and it looks like it's playing extremely well. It's a really good block out there. Getting some nice bounce, Wood.
He's done a great job, Luke. Just a slip in place. He's at second slip pane. This is short, the bouncer. It's called a wide. Certainly De Souza was having a go at that, but it had too much steeple for him. And well over his head. Wood bowls down the leg side and another wide, just not quite getting his radar right and conceding some extras. His first couple of overs at the crease today. The top order batting has been a little bit of an issue. The Lankan Lions, their bowling has been very good, hence why they're undefeated. Tucked away by De Souza. I think got some bat on that. We'll see what the great man. No, he didn't. To leg by. Mr. Barrow. And it is none for 18.
And a nice steady start here by the Lankan Lions.
We haven't had a lot of great opening stands yet in this tournament. Lots of wickets falling early. Wood. And he's been caught as he went on the charge. Commentator's curse again, Grant. He went on the charge and has picked out mid-wicket, and that is catching practice personified. Easy catch taken. Disappointing shot by Salwarthra, and he would love that 9 times out of 10. Again.
And this is a legitimate bowler's wicket because he's hitting it hip height. So it got big on him. And it means it was much more difficult to play that shot and hit it. He obviously hit it in the air and mid-wicket, takes a simple catch. That's the first wicket down.
Out for 7. He was on the charge a lot, wasn't he? And wasn't really succeeding. So 1 for 18. Well done, Adam Wood, to get that wicket. How many times have we said that? Gee, they're going well, and then all of a sudden the wicket falls.
Yeah, it's cricket.
It is. That's why we love it. Max Diaz. There was a Roy Diaz at the very early days of Sri Lankan cricket when they were making their way in international cricket in the mid-80s. He was the vice-captain behind the portly Duleep Mendes, who captained them to the World Cup in 1983. And they made their test debut in that same year, playing their first test against Australia in 83. Roger Woolley made his test debut as a wicket-keeper. Rod Marsh had a rare match off. Roy Diaz was a very good, stylish opening bat. See what Maximilian Diaz can do here at 1 for 18 in the third over. That's good bowling. Squared him up, takes an outside edge, flies away, but no problem. Josh Campbell sprints in, but bounces in front of him.
Very important when you come in to try and get the pace of the wicket when you come in as a new player. That's why nothing wrong with just leaving a few balls go, just seeing how quick or otherwise the wicket is, getting a feel for that pace before you take the bowling on.
Beaten outside the off stump, a quicker delivery too. Once more, not a lot of foot movement. Swing and a miss.
Not a lot of foot movement and a really high risk, low reward shot because that was only going to ever be a glide into the gully or a snick to the keeper. So see if he can just sort of get himself in and get a feel for this wicket. That's better.
Wide of the off stump and called a wide. Ash took a little while to give that. There was late swing. He thought long and hard and then decided, no, that is a wide. 1 for 19. Was he unlucky?
Well, it's a very narrow zone, isn't it? Really, when you look at it, I'm just looking at it really intently now. Like it's a low, really low zone. You just one step of the foot and you can reach most of those on that line.
Oh, that's a beauty. Quicker delivery, and he fends outside the off stump to a short of a length ball. That's fast bowling at its best. If Jeffrey Robert Thompson was watching that, he'd have a smile on his face. 1 for 19 from 3 overs. He picked up a wicket in that over of Salwarthra, and they'd be quite happy with that, New Zealand, to get, or the Kiwi Warriors to get a wicket inside 3 overs.
It's been really good watching Wood bowl. I've really enjoyed it. Bringing back memories of the one of the fastest bowlers to have ever played the game. You could just see him just working into his spell there now, and the rhythm is good, and that last one came out really nicely.
Here's Bassey, Path Bassey. Still a slip being employed. This is driven nicely down to mid-off and no run from De Souza. So slip, backward point or a very, very deep unorthodox gully. Cover point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. Backward square. Squarish third man. Wide of the off stump, and it's called a wide. He did step out in his endeavours to maybe cover drive that, but missed it, De Souza. Again, to me, maybe slightly unlucky. Bassey to be pinned for a wide. But a lot of the runs are coming from so far. Gets into his stride quickly. That's a good one too.
Just about a suggestion. There's a little deck away there. And when you're batting in these conditions, when the bowler's bowling well, the last thing you want to do is let someone else come in and take your spot. So just weather the storm, get through it.
De Souza driving to mid-off, right on line. Bowling to his field is Bassey, doing a terrific job.
It's good to see him bouncing back from his day yesterday. It's really good to see. It's good thinking, good captaincy. You give him the ball early. Get out there and enjoy your cricket.
Again on line and just steering back to the bowler. Just not giving him any room to try and hit it over the top or over pitch it and drive it down the ground. Or bowl too short to pull it through the onside. No run off the bat so far, just a wide. 1 for 20 in the fourth over. The Lankan Lions. Bassey. And appeal for a catch behind. He's out. And he went forward half-hearted and he's got a nick on that. Didn't think that the appeals were as vociferous as you thought they might be when they've got a wicket, but then again maybe they thought it was money for Jam Grant, that it was out, if you know what I mean. Automatic.
Yeah, Robinson just picked the ball up and threw it straight to square leg.
Yeah,
they even appealed. It was obviously conclusive, but that's commonly what you call hanging your bat out to dry. And there was no foot movement, and unfortunately that means that there's a lot of space between your body and the bat, so that if you do get a snick, it's obviously going to carry to the keeper quite comfortably. And so that's the second, is that the second wicket to fall?
And here's Lenny Wilton, who opened in the first two games, missed out with 6 and 2, and he's come to the wicket now to join Max Diaz.
Path Bassey bowling really nicely here. 4 dots, a wide but a wicket to cancel the wide out, more than cancel the wide out.
1 for 5. Sri Lanka on the rack slightly, or the Lanka Lions on the rack slightly at 2 for 20. Continue with the slip. Bassey to Wilton. So wide, outside the off stump, and it kept swinging away. Ended up virtually on the next pitch. Just couldn't control the swing then. 2 for 21.
Going for a little bit more pace then and lost his line. Much prefer him to throttle back on pace and make sure the new batter plays, given that he's getting some away swing and some leg cut. Like that.
Oh, that is a beauty. And he sort of half hung his bat out to dry. I think he was in two minds, Lenny Wilton. Will I withdraw? Will I hang the bat out to dry? Whatever happened, he didn't make a great fist of that. He was lucky he didn't nick that one through like De Souza had. So, terrific over. Well done, Parth Bassey. That was magnificent bowling. 1 for 6. It was a wide off his bowling and a wicket. 2 for 21. The Kiwi Warriors the Sri Lankan Lions after 4 overs.
Looks like it might be Sam Payne pacing out his run-up to take the bowling on from the northern end.
Yes, well, Sam
had a good game yesterday.
He did. He bowled late, didn't he?
Yes.
Because of the fact that he batted in the heat. And we did mention, Grant, that he looked a bit stiff, didn't he, in that opening over. But obviously he bowls a lot earlier than he did yesterday, generally at first change. Hence the decision to replace fellow Blondie Adam Wood, who's got a wicket. And the Lankan Lions need to rebuild their innings a bit. 2 for 21. Max Diaz and Lenny Wilton at the crease at the moment.
And Robinson over the top, so he'll be hoping it stays outside off stump.
Short. Pulled away. Over the head of mid-wicket to the boundary for 4. That was the loosener. And well played by the left-hander Diaz. In the right position, brings up a boundary.
Yep, halfway down the wicket. That's exactly right, Dan. That's a loosener. Half tracker. Also had another number of fruit.
Low hanging.
Fruit for the sideboard.
Yes, all that stuff.
Come on, Sam, get it up, outside off.
Yeah, it's on the leg stump, and that is pulled away, and that's 6 runs. 4 runs, bouncing. I thought it might have just cleared the cushions, indicating the rope, but just bounced in front. Touch and go it was, deep backward square. He guided that. Didn't look like he absolutely hit it as hard as he might, but it was a nice shot, lovely wristy shot, and not a good start this by Payne, dragging it down the leg side.
Coming around the wicket now, he looks a little bit tired to me. He's sort of shuffling in and just getting to the crease and keep it up. Now he's down leg, and that's the problem we've got when you bowl down leg when the keeper's up.
And Robinson misses it, so Parth was inside the circle. Parth Bassey at fine leg, and that was way too fine for him. And so we've had 2 boundaries off the bat, another one through byes, and the pressure valve has been released in a matter of deliveries, Grant.
Looks like he's took a bit out of him yesterday because he looks quite tired today.
2 for 33. This is hit high and long. 2 fielders converging. Didn't quite get it in the middle. Bounces in front of them. Between mid-wicket and wideish mid-on. He hit that in the air and not quite in the middle of the bat. I think he was aiming to go a lot higher and longer and try and clear the boundary. But he gets 2 more, Diaz. He's got going. That's 2 for 36.
So the batters now still must play each ball on its merits, or they'll lose a wicket here.
Payne, and he drops into the offside. They'll get a run. Their fielding generally has been good, but there's a misfield.
And that's exactly what I mean by Diaz. Still play each ball on its merits. Nice little push out to the off single. He goes down, has a chat to his Lenny Wilton. Said, Lenny, that was good. We're going to bat in a partnership here and start building a total for our team.
He was Young Club Person of the Year and Boorandarra Sports Star of the Year, and he plays cricket at Monash University. This is cut away out to deep cover by Wilton, so he gets his first run. They've put one of the men out in the deep in the early overs in front of the wicket. city of Burundara's where you're staying at the moment, Grant, so he's from that neck of the woods.
Oh, okay. Is that the Toorak area?
Yeah, Hawthorne.
Yep. Okay, yep.
Pulls across the line. Good piece of fielding by O'Leary. Mrs. O'Leary, you'd be proud of that. Could hear the earth thud in a nice way. He's a nice fielder. And he moves beautifully like a gazelle at backward square, and he probably stopped a boundary. It was dragged across the line, but with some power. Disappointing opening over by Payne. He conceded 18, and the Lankan Lions got going in that over. 2 for 39. Most of the damage caused by Maximilian Diaz, 12 from 8. I'll take a break, and Suhas will join Grant O'Hara. It is the final day of the pool matches, day 4 of the under-19 ACL Championships from Noble Park North.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the captain does for the next over from that northern end. Sam he looks tired to me. He might be carrying an injury perhaps. But if we've got an impact player, it might be a time to think about using him, saving Sam for batting. But Sam, he's wandering around, and what's happening out there with him? Not sure where he's going, and he's right now, he's just backward square. Good morning, Suez.
Very good morning, Grant. Very good morning to everyone watching as well. Soft hands and the singles taken. It's a side that's buzzing, especially in the 30-yard circle. It's not easy to take a single like that. It's good communication between Lenny and Maximilian.
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity for these two to really bat in a partnership here. Diaz is starting to see them well, and we know Lenny Wilson's got plenty of ability.
This time the single is not available. Parth Bassi has been excellent so far. There were a plethora of appeals in his first over.
Yeah, it just goes to show, by his own admission, wouldn't have been as happy yesterday, but he's bounced back beautifully today, and he's bowled really, really well.
Indeed, the entire Kiwi side, giving him the charge, and missed everything. Parth Bassi generating that spongy bounce. The Kiwi side would field there in Wellington. Yes. Everything mirrors Wellington. The sky, the surface, the grass, and the opposition struggling against fast bowling.
Yeah, well, Melbourne and Tasmania are two states that mirror more closely New Zealand than any of other states of Australia. So yeah, that's a good call, Suez. It's not that far away, really, is it? We call it just over the ditch.
Over the ditch?
Yeah, over the ditch, just across the ditch. I suppose if we had Donald Trump for a leader, they would be the 7th state of Australia. New Zealand.
That's wishful thinking on so many levels. Here come the Kiwi boys whom I met during the toss, were suggesting this is as Wellington as it gets.
Oh, okay. That's in the air, it's high. Getting back.
Running backwards was never going to be easy, or that is really well done. There's some kind of telepathic communication between those two fielders. They just knew exactly what to do and when.
Sorry, Suessa took your call then.
That's okay.
I won't do that to you again. But, yeah, that was never going to be an easy catch. Those ones over the shoulder like that, very difficult.
Should be taken. It is indeed taken. The catching has improved. Captain Ethan sets an example. This is how the catches are taken. And Pat Bussey finally gets the wicket that he wanted.
Just try to chip it over the infield, and Ethan Campbell times his jump really well. I mentioned yesterday, very impressed with his fielding. He's already one pick-up throw this morning. He reminds me of a great fielder called Jonty Rhodes, who made a difference in the field every time he played for South Africa. He was also a very good rugby player too, Jonty Rhodes, good sports person all round. And really good catch there. And that's a little momentum shift back, because Diaz was looking very dangerous. He was starting to get into his groove. And that's cricket, isn't it?
And two brilliant boundaries actually versus Champagne for Diaz. And then was able to achieve a third boundary as well, but that was by the virtue of a wide delivery. But you could sense that Champagne was under pressure because of those 2 fours. The third was a forced 4. A forced error.
Talking about cricket in New Zealand, it's obviously going well with their national team making the final of this one-day competition. A lot of pride in the black jersey. And Ethan, no, look, good call. This is good captaincy. Just don't think Sam Payne looks like he's on today. So the captain says, well, give me the ball. I'll take it from this northern end. You have a rest. Sam, he's still trying to work out where he is. How he's going to stumble himself back into... that's just... I think it's just a young fellow who's had a really big day yesterday. And he's got a backup for his cricket again today. I think maybe being as relaxed as he seems at the moment, he probably will help with his batting if he has to get out there and do a job.
What's the captain got up his sleeve here? Very lucky to get away with that kind of a length. Lenny Wilton couldn't have asked for a better delivery as well to free his arms. Get going.
That's right. And look, can I just comment on the keeper? When everything's flying, bats and gloves and bodies, and the only thing that counts is the ball. And that's a real skill to be able to just take your mind off all of the other, everything else that's happening, and make sure that you take that ball.
Ethan to the left-hander. Full tosses are going straight to the fielder, and it's a dot ball. Clearly Sanavaratne had received exactly the delivery he would have wanted to get off the mark. For a first ball, that is. This time negotiates the difficult deliveries. I think he's practiced the difficult ones.
I want to see this Lenny Wilson get going, because I've heard some good things about him, and it's like to see him build an innings here, not take unnecessary risks, just paddle it around for the 1s and the 2s, or square cut down for the 1 or whatever, but just build an innings.
Now that the power play has ended, Ethan, with more protection in the deep, is able to extract only singles from the opposition. Very good delivery. This surface seems to have something for the spinners, despite the weather conditions suggesting pace. And the homework has been done. Ethan Campbell is only conceding singles. 7 overs later, 47 for 3.
Yeah, stemmed the tide there, didn't he, the captain? That's good captaincy. Brought himself on when there needed to be a little bit of a momentum shift back to the black team. The men in black. And it looks like we're going to have Path Bassi bowl out his 4 overs, and why not at 2 for 10? He's bowled beautifully. Well, the keeper's come up here. This is... No, he's going to go back.
Five men inside this circle on the off. Parth to bowl the 4th over on the trot. In the air for a jiffy. And the non-striker did the right thing by staying put, because that didn't allow Parth to get the access to the ball. Single conceded hence.
There's a nice length there by Path, so he's bowled beautifully outside this, the right-hander's off stump and from this end.
Stylishly played away, but there is protection in the deep. So much risk involved. Had to take the second run at least. One for the shot, one for the throw. When you talk about a touring under 19 side, you usually see new faces, don't you? Because every time there's someone who's gone past the 19 age mark. But the Kiwi Warriors are sporting so many of the boys who turned up last year.
And that's a great shot by Wilton. Very low risk. Couple of paces down the wicket and drives it straight over the top of the infield. And so it's just taking a break for a moment. And I don't call that a high risk shot because he was very well controlled, didn't try and overhit it. See how he backs up now, Wilton. If he gets a good ball, just play it out. Yeah, like that. Good work. Good cricket. We've spoken a number of times for young players about match sense and match awareness. And at the moment, at 3 for 54, current run rate of 7, things are going okay. That's 140.
The final over of Path Bassi hasn't gone to plan. 8 runs of it with a ball to go.
Yeah, it's still, he'll end up with some very respectable figures at 2 for 18 plus, or maybe just 2 for 18.
Struck cleanly. Work to do for Tomar. Overrunning has been the problem there. Still gets around it. And very soon you might see him in action. Javid Tomar. 8 overs gone. 57 for 3. 9, 10 of it in fact.
And good job, Path Bassi at 2 for 20 off your 4. Very impressive. Nice comeback from yesterday. Good job. So Campbell's going to replace himself and bring in a new bowler.
It's Javid Tomar indeed. It's just a matter of time.
Yep, Shavir Tumar, number 8.
Everything about him just brims orthodoxy. Flighting a bit above the eye line, and things that seem to vanish in the shorter format of the game, they come back when Javid Tomar is at his mark. You're watching the Aussie Cricket League Under 19, and we're coming to you live from Melbourne. And the LCC have been excellent hosts. Starts off with a very poor delivery, David Tomar. Bit of a warm-up delivery. Something a tightly contested game does not allow. For the Kiwis, it's important that their prime bowlers strike today because they've rejigged the balance and added an extra batter. They've added an extra batter, and that means all those who identified themselves as bowlers in the side prior to this game, they've got to step up.
Yes. It's a good point. Have 3 players on the boundary on the onside. Deep mid-wicket and deep long on.
Oh, wow. That spun, that had venom. Saad is on his first tour. So it's making the point about youngsters being a part of Under 19 as it should be. But how young a side it was when Kiwi Warriors travelled last time as well tells you. As so many of them have returned and are part of the Under 19 side this year as well. It tells you the kind of talent they've got and how early they tap into that talent to bring out the best in them.
Let's take a look and see if he's getting any turn. Just a little bit, internal turn and bounce.
He's also playing with the mind of the batter, Grant, by using the width of the crease.
Yep.
The release point keeps changing.
And Wood has now replaced Payne in that short. Well, that was for the left-hander coming to that short, that cover area. Now pushing back to deep mid-wicket. He might be in play here. And yes, it's gone over his head.
Superb shot. Dancing down the track, not letting Thomas settle down. And backing himself to get the distance as well. Yes, there was a fielder in the deep as Grant suggested, but he was only a spectator. It's a high percentage shot.
Yeah, nicely hit.
Despite the turn, he was able to hit that on the offside. That is oozing control. End of the over. Javid Tomar's got some thinking to do. 11 of it, 69 for 3.
Yeah, well, there's if you can get some control going there and some consistency, it does look like there is a bit of spin and turn and bounce from bowling into the southern end. You can come back from that. And we've got to change a bowler now from the southern end.
Yeah, the change would bring Gary Board. Again, was part of the side last year too. Gary Board. Spinners galore, the Kiwi Warriors side. Last year they were captained by Harry Kidd.
But Harry's doing these days, cricket-wise. Deep cover. Deep long off.
Ethan's quite enjoying captaincy. I'm very sure that they'll be connected over a phone call after the game. And that's the best way to start. Show aggression, get a couple of runs. One for the shot, one for the throw. Timothy. That was a very powerful throw indeed. Gary didn't want to do anything to do with it. Didn't want anything to do with it. Gary Moore, let the ball go. He comes in diagonally. Ooh, this one came in with the angle, didn't turn at all. And for a batter backing away, could have been dangerous.
Yeah, Gary Bullett's had a good tournament so far. Bowled beautifully on day one. There was a little dry patch on the wicket and he made the most of that. He bowls between the stumps and the umpire when he bowls around the wicket to the right-hander. Goes down as buys, and that was a tough take, that one, but sometimes when the wicket is maybe a little bit variable, it makes you want to watch the ball even harder as a keeper, and this is concentration at its highest level.
Yes, indeed. Another good single inside the 30-yard circle. Parth was moving sideways, so had to choose on the move which end to throw at. Does well. It's a good over for Bohra so far. That was only so far. Robinson had to be better than that. The keeper knows that these runs have been gifted. There is a spot on the surface that's a spot of bother for not just the batter but the keeper too.
Well, yeah, watched him really closely then. He's staying down with the ball. The idea is not to come up until the ball bounces. So the gloves hit the ground, but he's just lacking feet movement at the moment. Needs to move his feet as the keeper. Bowled him.
Gary Moore gets the better of the batter this time around. Knew exactly the angle to use. As the batter misses, timber disturbed. Changed the pace as well. The shot was early. Gary Moore completes a very good over in the end. 4 runs and a wicket. At the halfway stage, it's 75 for 4. And it's just the right time to invite Dan back in the complex.
Good morning, Mr. Suhas. Lovely to see you.
Very good morning, Dan.
4 for 75. Every time you think that Sri Lanka are getting on top, we saw Max Diaz do it for a little while. This gallant Kiwi Warriors lineup pegged them back, and the same thing's happened with Lenny Wilton, who is producing some nice shots in his first half-decent score of the tournament as he gets ready for more Premier cricket on the weekend, and then his cricket journey will continue in Darwin in the Australian winter, or the Melbourne winter. He's looking forward to that opportunity. So Akith Abiwikrama comes to the crease to join who had opened earlier in the series, Reshen Senavatharana at 4 for 75, and Javier Tomar, who bowled well, as you mentioned, Suhas yesterday, operating, and it's down the leg side and it takes an outside edge of the bat of Senavatharana. The projected score at the moment is 150. If they get that, it's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, I'll take 150, given the conditions.
Pulled away, short delivery. O'Leary's out in the deep. Good return from deep mid-wicket. Very overcast today, but certainly cooler, more pleasant conditions after the very warm day of yesterday.
Some decisions of tosses, I believe, are taken not just because of the surface but the sky as well. Today was one such.
Yeah, I agree with that. Short delivery and flicked away in front of square. They probably could have hustled for 2 because the fielder was deep. Had a lot of work to do to come in off the mid-wicket boundary. Josh Campbell. Flatter delivery.
This over is much better from Javid Thomer.
And it's hit along the ground down to long on. So it's an India-New Zealand Champions Trophy final. Didn't they bat well yet? Last night, both teams did. 362 and South Africa again missing out in the final, 306. Dropped away on the offside. Good running by Abby Wickrama.
It's great to see Seneviratne trust his partner as well. Because Abhi Wickrama, because he's played the shot, knows exactly how hard he's hit it. Hence, he's already calculated that single in his mind.
Aimed on the leg stump and guided into the onside, no run. That Ravindra for New Zealand can play, can't he?
Boy, can he.
He is a star.
Javid Thomer can bowl indeed. What a comeback by Javid Thomer. Tidy over, 79 for 4. Oh, Rachin Ravindra, what a find he's been for the Kiwis. And the way he's taken to international cricket and the franchise cricket, of course, he was superb. It was good to watch him. He did go through a rough patch, but he always came back. The CSK colours have helped him as well to make himself a better player.
And Kay Williamson, very handy cricketer, isn't he?
Kane Williamson.
One of the greats.
Definitely one of the greats, and the way he captained the side across a transition period as well in New Zealand cricket has been something for everyone to see and learn.
David Miller got 100 for South Africa in a lost cause, but that was a nice innings, 200 off 67, a brutal innings almost. Good bowling by Boer, and he just manages to drop down on that, knock into the offside, and scurry through for a run. Akith Abhi Wickrama, who's 3, Reshan Seneviratne is 9. It's 4 for 80. We're in the 12th over. Ball with his left arm spin. Short. Pulled away. Will it be stopped out in the deep? 2 fielders come round and do the work. Long on gets there first. Nice return on the bounce to Robinson. And they get 2. Ethan Campbell, the skipper, was the one that got there first. And he and Josh pump fist. Or fist pump. 4 for 82. I'm old, so I do get those sayings wrong. Great to have our audience set sport with us as it's pushed into the offside and there's no run. Senator Tharana, 11 off 17. Akith Abhi Wickrama, 3 off 3. He's balling out. Gives it air. And it's square driven nicely. Out to O'Leary. That's a good return. And forced the Lankan Lion batter to go back. I don't even know why he was vaguely considering going for a run there. That would have been suicide.
Robinson's not having the best day with the gloves there.
No, he's not. He said yesterday he's loving it. First year of wicket keeping, but he's...
That's how quickly cricket changes,
yeah.
isn't it?
Just got a fist of the fumbles today. Boer bowls. Takes the outside edge. Might have been an intended edge. Payne has been in that first slip position. Rolls towards the boundary, and I think he might have just overhauled it. He did. Thought it nearly got away from him.
The way Gary Bowles bowls, a connoisseur of the purest form of cricket, the test match cricket, he's going to be overjoyed watching Bowles bowl.
4 for 85 in the 12th over. Boer, tall left armour. Gives it air. Driven down the ground on the bounce to Campbell, the captain.
And with that single, will retain strike Roshan Seneviratne. 86 now with that single for 4.
Didn't quite work the change in the order. He went down the order, and the Sawyers have got a game today, and he went up the order, but they lost those two openers quickly. Diaz and Wilton got them going for a little while, but they're in a pretty good position, I would have thought, at the moment. Run rate of just over 7.
Yeah, after losing toss and having been asked to bat first, 86 for 4 at the end of 12 overs with a batting lineup that's never ending, they'd expect to get at least 130.
Very good at defending, aren't they?
Just like their senior side.
Yes.
Just like their senior side. In ACL, that is.
Well, we saw it the first year.
India taking on the Indian Tigers, was it at that time? Taking on Sri Lanka?
I think it was India. Yeah.
Yes, it was India. Jatinder Judd, remember, was caught in the eye of the storm suddenly when he walked in, and runs were required. Not too many, I think 9 of them. But once the Lankans got their wicket, thanks to Fernando, things changed and India were knocked out in the semis. And that's the fact that we're talking about a game of the past, about 3 years back, 2 years,
Yes.
3 years back, in fact, tells you the legend that Aussie Cricket League has become. Creating stories, rewriting history.
Well, Kalapotra, who's played a lot of one-day cricket for Victoria and a very good player for Casey South Melbourne, was captain of that team the first year. And they dropped the first game and they bowled a few medium paces, and he completely changed the way that they bowled from then on. I think they had 1 over of medium pace for the rest of the tournament. They're all spinners, and they ended up winning the tournament quite comfortably. Didn't lose another game.
One caught your eye, remember Jayasundara?
The left armour from Endeavour Hills, he kicked it off. He would open the bowling and he'd bowl on the spot. Not a lot of turn. This is whacked away. It's a short delivery. O'Leary does move for a big man, but it's beaten him out of deep mid-wicket. He was on the pounce, the big fella, but he couldn't quite get there. Lovely boundary, short delivery from Asif. Money for jam as far as the Sri Lankans are concerned for a boundary.
The short delivery had to latch onto it, and too much to do for O'Leary. That was struck cleanly, nicely.
4 for 92.
It's wonderful to see the positive intent that the Lankan Lions have come out to bat with. They understand that the surface and the conditions might suggest that the bowling team will have the upper hand.
Seneviratne looking good. He pulls the next one, and I reckon it was an interesting shot. He pulled it through the offside, or flat batted it through the offside. He was dragging himself over to the leg side and then played away from the body. So unorthodox, Suhas.
Yeah, it does play the short arm jab as well. Akit
4 for
and
no,
Seneviratne, both of them.
4 for 93. Air given, and he didn't even move his feet as he played that shot, and clean bowls the fielder and the covers. O'Leary out in the deep saves the day, and they get 2.
O'Leary has been kept busy in this over.
Unfortunate bounce for Mistry, Shivam Mistry. Interesting shot by Avi Wickrama, because he didn't move his feet, just hung the bat out, and on that occasion gets beaten by one that had a bit more bounce than he anticipated, looking to maybe late cut it. Very fine.
Asif on his first tour with the Kiwi Warriors to Australia, he said that he's absolutely enjoying every outing. It's been a big learning curve for him, and he was overjoyed by the fact that he woke up, decided to play cricket today, and realized he is in Wellington. Nothing has changed. So he's so well versed with bowling to a short boundary as well, and that might help the Warriors here.
That had a bit more bounce again. You could see what Senator Tarrant was trying to do then. He thought, well, I'm going to try and pull that one away, and then all of a sudden it was outside the off stump, and it had some nice bounce, and he just dropped it down on the onside. So 4 for 96, 13 gone. Current run rate 7.38, and they're in a good position here, the Lankan Lions, to keep putting pressure on the Kiwi Warriors. And as Suhas has said, they do bat pretty deep. In the words of Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop many, many moons ago, they bat deep, deep under cover. Gary Bohr, who's got 1 for 11 from 2 overs. And they're saying the projected score will be 1-4-8 if Sri Lanka win, or Lankan Lions win. They'll remain undefeated and finish on top of Pool B. And Afghanistan Eagles will qualify for the semis. This is flicked down the ground to mid-on. Tomar comes in off the long-on boundary. They keep the scoreboard ticking over. Abby Wickrama 11. Senator Taran has 17 off 21. Boer in again, and it was a Yorker length ball that he digs out and plays it back on the bounce. Dot ball, very handy dot ball by the reliable left armour. This change in pace and variations has been a feature to watch in this entire tournament.
Absolutely right. And he only gets better.
Flatter one.
A little bit of guide as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of drift.
That he played into his pad.
Did he also ball it from the front to the arm?
Might have. Yeah.
Running that finger on the seam, almost a seam up.
Beautiful piece of bowling. Boer in again, and he's across the line. Attempted slog sweep, but it ends up in front of the wicket, not square. There wasn't enough air in that delivery to play it the way he wanted to play it.
He's got so many variations, Gary Bohr, for someone who's brimming orthodoxy.
And is a teenager still. Flick to mid-on. This will be danger. But the throw at the stumps misses. He was only a few metres away, right next to the stumps. And it was a very good piece of fielding by the New Zealand player in getting his hands near that. And he wasn't far away from actually hitting the stumps, but they make their ground. He missed the stumps.
3 runs of Gary Bohr's third over. This is some bowling indeed. 14 overs gone, 99 for 4. The double L's.
That was Saad that had that opportunity to get the run out. He wasn't able to hit. So Senator Tarana 18 of 25, Abby Wickrama 12 of 11. So who wins that Champions Trophy? You think you still win it? Suhas, despite New Zealand being brilliant throughout it?
Ask me about Aussie Cricket League under 19, please.
You don't want to know about the Champions Trophy.
You know my answer.
Well, I know that, but I mean, do you think that I'm expecting a?
There'll be more interesting answers here. The Aussie Cricket.
I know that, but I mean, I'm expecting an experienced answer from a very experienced cricket commentator as well. This is a thick edge. The start of a new over. Wanders down through third man. And the hundreds on the board. Saad Muhammad Asif, who, as I say, was involved in a good piece of fielding in the previous over.
Expecting India to do well. Expecting India to go the distance.
And this is pulled away. Misfield. By Woods. Was travelling a bit too. Played that short arm jab through the offside.
He sets himself up for the pull, yes, but he's always making himself available for that short arm jab too. Gets into such a position where two options are available for him, just over the bowler's head. That burst through his hands. Saad Mohammad Asif almost saw wicket.
Travelling too, wasn't it? He'd be looking for the top of his finger. It's headed into one of the houses. That's how fast it was travelling at that northern end where he's operating from. Would have been a great catch.
Is Asif going to slow it down now? He does, and it works. He's also thrown it wider. The first wicket for Saad Mohammad Asif has come by, and that's the end of the resistance for the fifth wicket.
Got to admire this team. They just find a way to get a wicket at a crucial time, and he fell for the 3-card trick. He speared it in, he darted it in, and he was on the move. It was premeditated from Abba Wickarama, and he got beaten. And Robinson hasn't had his best day, as we've mentioned, with the gloves, but that was a lovely, neat piece of work from a man still learning his craft as a wicket keeper. Generally, he'd be very happy with what he's done. 5 for 104 in the 15th. 1 for 15 at his second over Saad Mohammad Asif. And Senavitarana will be joined at the crease by Wick Ramasurendra. Rison Wick Ramasurendra. Rolls off the tongue.
Vikrama Sundara, I think so. Let me just see. Eti Arachige.
5 for 104. And well done to Saad to get that wicket. Those spinners again doing a terrific job for the Kiwi Warriors. A great variety in their bowling attack. The two quicks at the start, the medium pace of Payne, and then their plethora of spinners, left and right. Oh gee, didn't that bounce a bit?
The spinners of the Kiwi Warriors have identified the right pace to be bowling on this track. The right speed to be bowling on this track.
There's a catcher in front of the wicket. Ethan Campbell, the captain, at short straight mid-wicket.
It's a bit of drift that Asif's getting too.
It's wide of the off stump. It's called a wide. Ash Barrow took a long time. He did really not leave the crease, but his bat hung out. He nearly had two bats there trying to reach that. Robinson thought he might have seen the back foot lifted by the batter.
The captain's not going to complain if Asif's bowling a wide delivery, because the last one produced a wicket. That was so tactically bowled. But you can't pass off every wide as tactics. Saad Mohammad Asif, however, is making the batter lose his balance by changing the line last moment.
Again, good bowling. Trying to cut. Too close to the body. Wikrama Surendra, all at sea there. Now he cuts and is caught. He's holed out. He had a chance to cut that away, but hit it in the air and played it a bit too loosely. And New Zealand get another wicket. Catch taken
Well
in
done,
the covers.
Well done. Compensating for that wide delivery. Throwing the bat at it, but also hitting it in the air. Strategically positioned Adam Wood has somehow completed the catch. Let's just say he used more than two hands to get that under control. 15 overs gone. 105 for 6.
And Saad Mohammad Asif 2 for 16. here's one of the stars of the tournament for Sri Lanka, and one of the stars of the tournament, full stop. Crandell Siegelwin. As Suhas takes a break. And Grant O'Hara rejoins us with, again, the Sri Lankans just making heavy weather of their batting, which hasn't been a strength of them in the tournament. They probably just need to improve come the final, or finals. They'll be in the semi tomorrow. They'll play the Pakistan or India. That'll be decided the last game of the pool matches this afternoon. It's worked out beautifully. Top two in the Pool A, both undefeated. And here's Ethan Campbell in the attack now. Another one of these spinners. Welcome back, Grant.
G'day, Dan. There's a nice total being accumulated here. 7 runs and over. Nice little platform to go hard for the next 5 overs. 6 for 105.
Campbell. This is lofted in the air. Another wicket, I reckon, out. Straight down the throat. And they've taken 7 wickets. 3 wickets in a hurry. Easy catch to Cronin Stone. Judged it to a nicety. And that's a disappointing dismissal for Reshan Senavitarana. Made 21 of 27. Another Sri Lankan to get going, but without really making a decent score. Right back in this, the Warriors, Grant.
Yeah, they've been the team that's really kept fighting the whole tournament. And so there's a nice total, potential total on beckoning here, as long as you don't keep losing wickets. And that was struck straight down to the bowler at long on. The fielder down at long on. And yeah, simple catch. But Ethan Campbell, the captain, has swung himself around to this southern end. And now has the figures of 1 for 3 off his right into his second over.
Team hat-trick. They got a wicket the last ball previous over. We get the first ball of this over, so they're on a team hat-trick.
Right.
And the skipper, who's put himself down the order, Sujan Hulan Gamawura, with Crandell Siegelwin, who has helped the Lankan Lions out. They weren't batting too well in their second game, and he got some valuable runs at the end, and he was the one that got them over the line when they looked like they weren't going to pass the Pirates 98 in the opening game Monday that they played. Full toss, driven down the ground, took the pace off at Campbell, and rebounds away for 1.
Probably not the ball you're looking for at team hat-trick, but only went for 1 run.
Exactly like their senior team, aren't they? Just keep plugging away. It's in their DNA. When it comes to cricket, fighting out of their weight division, considering their population, but they're always in matches. Gives himself room and he caresses it beautifully off the back foot. Big Crandall. And it's 7 for 107 in the 16th over. Wonderful to be here on the 4th day of the Under-19 ACL Championships for 2025. That's a nice little shot. Deft little late cut. No protection at third man, or fine third man. As squarish third man and fine leg joined forces to stop it from hitting the boundary, but good running.
And yeah, that was a nice shot. Just a little dab. Down for 3 runs. Don't get many threes in this tournament, but that was really nicely played.
Campbell in again. Flatter delivery. They're going to get a run here. That's clever running, even though it wasn't far away from Robinson. Didn't take it cleanly. Fell a couple of metres behind him. And the man, of course, at the non-strikers end can call when was meant to call when the ball goes behind the wicket in the skipper Susan. And he's called Crandall Siegelman through. He was probably going to the danger end and he got home comfortably. No ball. Off the cutting, I think.
Let's take a look at this front foot. Must be a front foot.
A front footer, is it?
Yep. Front foot, no ball. Boy, oh boy.
Oh, yes. It's disappointing, isn't it? So it's a free hit. See what happens here. And he misses.
Got another wicket on a free hit.
Correct. See what he's trying to do. But they're not. The issue is maybe they're trying to hit it too hard. I certainly agree with you there, Grant, that the idea might be there about how they're trying to play it, but they're not executing it. From the samples we've seen in this tournament,
there have been more outs for free hits than runs.
Here's our man, Adam Wood, back in the attack. We've got a lot of men, haven't we? Well, boys, really.
Most of the New Zealand team for a start.
Are our men.
Yep. Doesn't hurt when they're good blokes.
No, it's a great Australian phrase, isn't it? The great man, our man. I don't even know what it means, to be honest, but great is a phrase that greats. I think we use it way too often.
Oh, it's been replaced now by, you're not just a star anymore, everyone's got to be a superstar.
Mm.
Oh, dear.
So here's Adam Wood. Love watching this kid bowl. A bit of an issue with his opening over with the front foot no balls. And a swing and a miss. This will be good to watch because the big Crandall gets onto them with those big levers and Wood bowling quickly. I could see one crashing over his head for 6.
I like the way he plays his cricket, Wood. He loves it, doesn't he?
Does.
Like getting back there quickly, trying to get some momentum in his front foot was really nice then. And again, perfect.
Driven down to long on. I know it was hot yesterday, but it wasn't so hot on Monday. I hope and I know they're young too, the Sydney Kangaroos boys learn a bit from watching, if they have been, in New Zealand, or the Kiwi Warriors getting through their overs quickly. I mean, Wood's run up is longish, not as long as some of the bowlers, but they get going quickly. Oh, that's nearly a run out, is it? They're going to have a look at this. He dabbed it, and it just dropped over the stumps, Sujan. And Robinson was quick as a flash. He's underarmed it and hit the stumps. He thinks they've got a wicket.
I think he got back. That's my look. Might be wrong.
No, he's out. He's short.
He's short, all right. And that is out. Nice quick call. Very clear. Well short.
And all of a sudden, Grant, they may not even see out their overs.
Yeah. Not sure what he was thinking then to get down the wicket like that. And the ball went straight to the keeper. Just goes to show just how important is concentrating right throughout your innings, and that means when you're facing the ball and when you're running, and it's time to actually have downtime, and that often happens at the non-strikers end when the bowler's getting ready to bowl, but then switch on again. Very important. Don't give away your wicket unnecessarily, and that was unnecessary to give you away a wicket like that there. Sridhar, the new batter. Krishna Sridhar.
So the two opening bowlers at the wicket together now. Got some work to do here. And the Warriors giving themselves every chance. It's a good piece of bowling outside the off stump. Good chat out in the field by the Kiwi Warriors.
Because this real spring in his step. He's going to try and bounce from this fella. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. They're thinking about it.
Short delivery. Fends it away. Played it okay. Popped up in the air. But point was deep.
It's only been one bowler in the tournament that can bowl a legitimate bouncer, short ball. That was a little short, well controlled by the batter. Single win on strike now. Crandall single win.
As I said, I'd love to see these two have a bit of a battle. He swings this across the line. It was a attempted slow one. It'll be collected by Ethan Campbell, who we know is an outstanding fielder. And they get two. Good running. So still 3 overs to go. They wouldn't want to be bowled out here, Lankan Lions. They then would have left a few runs out there. 8 for 116. Bit of a procession like the incredible batting performance of Afghanistan Eagles yesterday when Jude Owen was threatening to make 100. That's how well he was going. Out facing his 15th delivery for 45. Very good catch taken. And then the game switched.
Braden Almond. Not often you remember the name of someone for their fielding, but what a game changer that was. Came across casually, took the catch just in front of the boundary. Braden Almond. Great work.
That's called having confidence in your own ability that you're always going to take the catch. That's what was so impressive about that. And then, of course, he bowled really well, didn't he, with his left armers? Lots of dot balls, which Ethan Campbell will be aiming to do here with 3 overs remaining. And Sridhar on strike now, assessing the field. Knowing long off is on the boundary. Deep covers on the boundary. And he wasn't able to get enough on that cover inside the circle, pouncing mid-wickets there. Square is short. Fine leg. Square is short. Third man attempting to cut. Well taken, Robinson. Looking to whip the bails off, doesn't. Hurrying threes over, not allowing the batter to settle. Pulls the next one. Is that caught? No. O'Leary just couldn't quite hang on to it. He made some nice ground out there at deep mid-wicket. And I think in his endeavours to take the catch, he's rolled over and wasn't able to hang on. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, he's had it, I think, and then just as he's hit the ground, he's lost it. As I said, made good ground.
Wide of the off stump. Not called a wide. Thought that was a bit close. 8 for 117. Attempts the big swing. He'd moved across the leg side. I reckon he was aiming for cow corner or deep mid-wicket. Grant missed it.
Yep. It's one of those big swing, no ding, Dan.
Yes, I like that. Let's see if he can go ding-ding here. He does now. But there's a fielder underneath it. A sieve drops it. Had it, just couldn't quite hang on. Angry with himself, and they'll be able to come back for a couple of runs. Very annoyed with himself.
Let's just see where he gets this right and wrong. He makes good ground to get to it. Watches it well into his hands, but just Where I think he got that wrong is he had his hands spread apart, so it's only going to hit one hand, not two hands. If you have a look at this replay, his fingers are apart, and that means, yep, that's just a slight technique issue there. His intent was fantastic, but with his hands apart, that means it was only ever going to hit one hand. Obviously the surface area is not as big as if you're going to catch it with two, which is what I recommend we always do, catch with two hands.
He didn't quite get that in the middle, Big Crandall. If he had have got it in the middle, it might have ended up through our window. Wood starting his final over. Swing and a miss outside the off stump for Sridhar. He's got an aim, I think, to whack him down the ground in between, to dissect in between long off and long on.
You may remember we had a 3 wide first over from Adam Wood.
Yep.
Now what a good comeback it's been. He's got his line and length going again. Plenty of smiles. As I said, I love the way he plays his cricket. Very enthusiastic. Nope. Hang on, what's happened there, Ash? Field moving, was it perhaps?
I'm not sure. Certainly a field of moving here, but I thought he was coming in, Ethan Campbell. At mid-wicket. So here's Wood again. In the air, he got it off the top part of the bat. And lucky for him, the field was reasonably deep in the covers and he manages to get a run. 8 for 120. 10 balls to go. Projected score from here 131, which would be pretty competitive. They just lost yesterday in the second last ball, the Kiwi Warriors. They won their opening game. Wood. Big Crandall. He misses. Not taken cleanly by Robinson. Asif is there at fine leg. Another run. He's wanting a big hit, Crandall, isn't he, Grant? I think if he gets onto one, it'll go a mile.
Yeah, only 2 wickets remaining, and I suppose, yep, it's all no guts, no glory.
Another swing, another miss without moving his feet by Sridhar. Bit too good for him, Wood, that delivery. Lots of starts again from the Lankan Lions, which has been their lot with the bat in this tournament. Wilton, Diaz among them. Senavitarana. That was a bit wide of the off stump, but he didn't move his feet, and Robinson again had a fumble, but they didn't take a run. He needed to move his feet, come across if he was to make contact.
There's always these new theories that go around about with batting. It used to be, the big one that changed, Dan, for the hook or pull shot or the square cut, back in the Ian Chappell day, used to say you have to roll your wrists. Well, you don't do that anymore. It's just hit down on the ball. You don't roll your wrists, or that's such an old-fashioned teaching method now. My first ever cricket book was the Ian Chappell School of Coaching. You have to roll your wrists. Well, they don't now. You just hit down on the ball. That'll make sure the ball hits the ground. You don't have to roll your wrists. A lot less risky. But I'm just wondering, there's such a lack of feet movement. I'm wondering if there's another new theory around batting and moving your feet.
Wood, once more, right on line, good delivery, and he stepped away a little bit then. Sridhar had another swing and a miss, so opportunity goes begging for the Lankan Lions.
Yeah, and again, that's not moving your feet.
No.
It's what it was, opening up your chest so that you could clear your front leg and swing. But if it's going to hit the wide line and you're not there, it just makes it much more difficult for you to hit the ball. So not being up on the latest around coaching, and I know there's a first-class cricketer as the coach of the New Zealand Warriors team, and he's a batting coach. I'm going just to chat to him about what it is with feet movement these days, because that's been one of the biggest things that I've noticed. When these guys are moving their feet, they're hitting the ball nicely. Some have got really good eyes and don't need to, but most of them need to be moving their feet.
I mean, if you get a wicket that's providing plenty, a lot of swing, a lot of seam, I think you need to be moving your feet no matter how good an eye you have, I reckon, no matter what format of the game. Here's Bohr, starting his last over. He's been fantastic, attempting to cut. And Robinson loves removing the bails, part of his love of his new skill wicket keeping. And that's a lovely first delivery, isn't it? Nice and flat. 1 for 14, 8 for 121. Still need a few more yet, I reckon. The Lankan Lions have just sort of lost their way. Crandall's there. He gets one right on the block hole, and he was aiming to launch into it, but it wasn't there for him to do what he needed to do. 2 dot balls. That was a flatter delivery, just clears straight mid-wicket, but there might be a run out here. He was out of his ground, it was a fumble. Crandall, I think, knows he's out. He comes back, and eventually Bohr was able to whip the bails off, and he knows he's out. They just go to check that. Yes, he didn't take it originally, Grant, did he?
No, it is out.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a classic piece of cricket, that.
No.
The stroke was okay. The fielding was okay. The collection wasn't. The running was not good. What he was thinking, why he would go back for 2 there. Anyway, they've still got 1 to go, so the 4 balls.
9 for 122. I think from where they were, they're about 15 short.
I'll look forward to your win viz again today.
Yes.
Just
warming it up at the moment.
Yeah.
Be on its way out soon.
I think it was a fairly successful day yesterday, win viz.
Yeah, pretty good. Nigel Munasinger, the opening bowler, coming to the wicket now. See if Big Nigel can get some runs and help the Sri Lankan cause, which has fallen away a bit in the back end of their innings. And full credit, though, full credit to the Kiwi Warriors. Their spirit and heart has been magnificent. Their self-belief, exceptional. Bohr, flatter delivery, swings across the line, Munasinger, a valuable run. And then as many as they can get. In fact, it's not Munasinger facing him face now, it was Sridhar. 9 for 123. He just doesn't give you anything, does he? He doesn't really, certainly doesn't toss it up outside the off stump. Spearing in flat. That's a little bit more air. Beats him though. Might have been a slight turn.
No, it's a good turn. Bit slow turn, but it was a good turn. I was watching it on the screen, and that one gripped, and so if he goes with the way normally he's been, this will be spearing in. Arm ball spearing in has been one of his go-tos. See how he's gripping the ball. It might be gripping for spin, but let's see if he just spears it in there.
Last ball of the innings, wide of the off stump. He lost his way there. Extra ball.
Got away from him, yeah. His fingers really widely spread, so he's going for a spinner. Given that didn't work, I'll predict the arm ball now. The fast arm ball.
9 for 124. Last ball of the innings coming up. And he hits it in the air and high and long and magnificently for 6 over the head of Ethan Campbell. That's a handy way to finish it.
They're walking off the boys, but I think there's still a ball left.
Is there still a ball left?
Yeah, for the wide last ball. Or is it?
No.
That is the last ball?
Yeah.
Okay. 6 of the last ball. That's good, isn't it?
It's a nice way to finish it. So 130. 131 is the target. Is it enough?
It was one of those innings that just started to gain some momentum. They'd lose a wicket, gain some momentum, lose a wicket. And their 130 run rate of 6.5, just over a run a ball required now. What was par, do you think, Dan, as you were watching it through?
Well, I would have thought 130 was par at the start, Grant.
Okay.
But when they were 4 down and they were approaching 100, I would have thought 140 to 145 was par.
Yeah, well, they were 6 for 105 at the 15 over mark and finished with 130.
They'd be a little bit disappointed with that.
Here's our scorecard.
Yeah, lots of starts there. Diaz 15, Wilton 21, Senator Tharana 21, Avi Wickrama got 13, but no one really went on with it. That's been their issue in the tournament so far. Most players at least got off the mark, bar one. So 9 for 130.
28 extras. That will be disappointing for the New Zealand side. They won't be happy with that. And have a look at the bowling. Parth Bassi 2 for 20. Pick of the bowlers. Ethan Campbell 1 for 12 of his 3. Gary Boer 1 for 23. And Mohammad Asif 2 for 16. As I said, a steady procession of wickets falling, and then unfortunately just weren't able to keep that momentum going. And probably like a 140, 150 at least was beckoning. Couldn't quite get there. Let's take a look at the partnerships, Dan.
Yes, there was some that got going. The opening partnership was 18 to Soiser and Samarasekera. There was 23, Max Diaz and Wilton. And then Senator Tarana and Wilton 32. Again, they were getting going. 29, Avi Wickrama and Senator Tarana, but not much else after that. So the issue's been almost with the bat with the Lankan Lions, but not quite.
It's good that they did bet out their overs. That was critical, and they did that.
So 9 for 130. 131 is required now by the Kiwi Warriors. They win. They're in the semis. They lose. The Afghanistan Eagles are in the semis. And obviously the Lankan Lions are already there and looking to remain undefeated. So some work for both teams to do. It should be a great run chase very shortly with 131 needed here at Noble Park North, the home of the Lindale Cricket Club. And this is the first game of day 4. And we've got a good run chase coming up between these two sides, the Lankan Lions and the Kiwi Warriors, very shortly.
Okay, we've got a run chase on our hands here. We've got the New Zealand Warriors into bat now, and they're chasing the target 131. It was a good fielding and bowling performance by them. One thing that they did do, consistently picked up wickets. So just as we saw the Lankan Lions get some momentum, they'd lose a wicket and then they'd get a few setbacks. At one stage, it looked like we could have been seeing a 140, 150 target, but 131 will still take some chasing. Hello, Suez.
Hello, Grant.
Just looking for it. There it is. We're ready to go. The umpire. So coming in from the southern end, opening the bowling, Minasinger. Skies in the air, keeper coming around, fine leg coming in, he takes the catch.
That's a great catch.
And that's a really good catch. He made some great ground to that. Sprinting. I thought there could have been a collision there at one stage because fine leg was coming in as well. And look at that first ball. What a start. Suez.
An incredible start indeed. Robinson just didn't have the day in front of the wicket too that he wanted. Skying this one up in the air. Lot of running to do, but the keeper never stopped believing. Gets there, and the gloves did help. Retains his balance, and then grants a wicket to his side. Very first ball. What a start indeed. The Aussie Cricket League under-19. A blink and miss kind of action. It's heating up already.
That was the keeper, Jerome Robinson. Looking to take the bowling on. Very first ball. One thing we have noticed, there's some very long run-ups. But Minasinger, he bowled well yesterday too. He's got a bit of speed about him. And that got big on Robinson and skied the catch. And a great piece of work there by the keeper.
Slip in place. The Kiwis are being tested with what mimics their home conditions. Nigel with a very smooth run-up.
Yeah, no good line of length, just pitching, decking away. The new batter in, Gary Boer, joins Ethan Campbell.
Captain Campbell has got a task at hand.
Yeah, one of the quicker bowlers in the competition, Nigel Minasinger. We've also got a deep third man and a fine leg gully in place.
Offering soft hands seems to be the right thing to do, at least earlier on in the innings. Wants to figure out what exactly the surface is offering. It's changed a little bit for the first innings as what we've seen towards the end of the first innings. Not a sign of sun.
Now, if you haven't caught up with the news in Australia, we've got a cyclone just off the coast of Brisbane, Queensland. A little bit of rain in the vicinity, but just an overcast day at the moment. No run, little dab, picked up by Gully.
There's some bounce as well for Nigel, and that's definitely helping. 4 deliveries into this over. Every time he's pitched slightly back of a length, he's got that extra bit of bounce. If he can generate that much bounce from the good length area, there's another wicket waiting for him. Even the first delivery, Grant, the swivel of Robinson, didn't get it from the middle of the bat because of that extra bit of bounce.
Look at that, same again. To your point, Suez. Nicely played, that's good cricket. Great line. Not doing anything else with that bar. Knocking it down to that gully region. And what a start. You can imagine the conversation with the Sri Lankans. Let's hold our catches. Let's hold our lines. Let's keep sundries. Now, let's keep an eye on that. Let's keep sundries to a minimum. And Minasinger, how about bowling a maiden in the first over? Let's see if you can do that.
On the cusp.
No, wicket maiden at that too.
Yes, on the cusp of a wicket maiden. Survives the appeal, hence that singles taken. 1 run of that over, 1 for 1, the Kiwis.
And you had some of the New Zealand boys saying this is as close to Wellington weather that they're going to get, hey?
Yeah, some of them feel they have turned up to Wellington. Imagine practicing for different conditions before you get onto a tour and then you realize you're as close to home as you can get with conditions. You should be happier.
Yeah, they'd be aware of that with New Zealand too. Like, yeah, we're so close to New Zealand, so close to generally New Zealand weather. Not sure they have so many the 4 seasons in one day, but
Right.
Gary Boer on strike.
You've been to Wellington?
Yes, Windy Wellington it's called.
Windy Wellington.
Nicknamed. Been to the rugby ground there, and I haven't been to them. It's the Basin Reserve, Wellington. Pretty sure.
Wonderful. Catching position at gully. No slip, but gully. And Captain
push.
Sujan himself is there.
Yeah, little push for one. And Crandall has got a number on his back, but is this Crandall?
Crandall's decided to tiptoe to mark the area from where he'll start the jump. He doesn't want to overstep. He's trying his level best to break down different aspects of his run-up. The jump, the landing.
That's well bowled. Good line. Just held its line and ducked away a little bit.
The hint of movement after pitching. Just the hint of movement. That is what troubles the batters the most. The extravagant swing looks wonderful on television, we've talked about it, but the hint of movement is the one that is a wicket-taking delivery because that kisses the outside edge.
And Ethan, just notice Ethan Campbell, one of these rare players that bowls left arm, bats right hand. It's in the air. Bowler getting under, he's got under, scooped under this there, colliding, but that doesn't matter. He holds on to the catch even though there was a collision down there at mid-on. And they're holding their catches even against all odds here at the moment, the Lankan Lions, and that was a really good catch.
Vijay Singh never lost sight of the ball. Yes, there is a collision and you would hope the players are alright. This one was scooped up in the air. Wanting to flick it but was in two minds. And a very good catch. Didn't see his mate running towards him, but didn't drop the ball despite the impact. Second wicket down for the Kiwis. And this time it's Nigel who strikes.
Ethan must have thought he was sort of in the frame here when he saw them both going for it. And notice their hands together. So he was going to use two hands to take that catch.
The only reason that the catch is complete, I believe, is because Vijay Singh was a taller of the two. Had they been at the same height, the collision would have made sure that the ball pops out of the hands of whoever has taken it.
So that's the fall of the second wicket. Cronin Stone, the new player, taking a middle and a leg guard. And wicket already, Crandall single win. And a terrific start, two really good catches now by the Lankan Lions. Makes a big difference.
Oh, the Lankan Lions have figured out exactly what to do on this surface. The pace is simply sensational. They've got a good spin bowling attack too. But the paces have been simply sensational in the 10 balls that we've seen so far. Dan yesterday was suggesting that, in fact, he was discussing that in Australia, it's the wickets column that's read first. It's completely up to him what he wants to read first here. It's 2 for 2.
Never start. Cranstone, really good bowling by a single win. Good speed, good lines, good lengths. And Cranstone, this is you don't have to be flashing outside off stump like that. Just let the ball go early.
The required rate 7.1. I think they need to get as many as possible in the power play, because later on the spinners will be in operation. We saw from what Gary Moore did, what Jay Veer did, that the spinners are getting some assistance from the surface.
The outside edge, Scully.
Superb. Difficult position to field. Captain does well. 2 for 2 after 2.
1 for 1 for Crandall Singleton. Lovely over. Let's take a look at his action. Lovely balanced run in. And a nice economical action. Well bowled.
Crandall does well.
Nigel Minnesinger back into the attack. His second over.
The batter is standing outside the crease to negate the swing here. So Nigel has got to retract the length a little bit more to entice the batter into the drive, generate the outside edge. Making him a candidate of LBW is going to be a little difficult a proposition because he's standing out.
It's a mighty long run up here.
Slip is in place. And a gully.
Little way swing, well left.
We've talked about this. There's a shade of red ball cricket here. Bowling outside off the batter, shouldering arms. And there's movement after pitching. Good collect by the keeper. Yesterday, I asked you, Grant, that one of the most satisfying things as a keeper, you said it's keeping to a spinner.
Yes.
The leg spinner.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought you would say the ball thudding into your hands, especially
Oh,
pacer is bowling. So is that a different kind of job?
if they're really quick, but
Yeah.
because you get so much time to see it, it's kind of your bread and butter.
Right.
Standing back, it's the real skill level is standing over the top when the ball's spinning, and particularly if it goes down leg, and just trying to keep your eyes located on it to take the ball down leg when you lose sight of it for that split second.
Because of the batter?
Yeah, because the batter's in the road, yeah.
So the bigger the batter is, more problem.
Down leg again, and lack of feet moving by the keeper then, which means it's gone down for leg buys. Still would have liked to have seen the keeper use his feet there, get across. Gets hit. But only one movement by the keeper. He needed a couple of side steps to make sure that he got there and stopped that boundary.
The Lankan Lions have got to make the Kiwi Warriors earn their runs. That's a gift.
Going to be given wides. That was quick. In anyone's language, that was quick. Too quick, in fact, for the keeper too, who parried it backwards. Lucky not to be given buys, but yeah, it was certainly too short.
The keeper had to time his jump to perfection to try and get that collected. We did see a glimpse of brilliance of the very first ball of this innings. That ball went miles up in the air. Cloudy sky. The ball is white in colour. Difficult to spot.
Driving in the air. Pick up at least 2. Didn't quite get to the pitch of the ball. But clear the fielder. 2 runs.
That shot will give him confidence because that was straight from the screws. What we've seen so far is there are certain segments in this ground where the outfield is a little slow. Not in the entirety, but certain places of the ground.
Oh dear.
Now there is a run available. Sloppy from the Lankan Lions. We've seen both ends of the spectrum and the captain's not happy there.
Quick single, shies at the stumps. Sort of a half appeal there. He wasn't sure if it hit the bat, the pad. Bit of both. He's given a run. 1 run. And Manasinga bowling very nicely here. He'd have to be bowling in the 130s, you'd think. He'd be high 120s, 130s. In the air. No single.
He's got to be careful with that run here. That wasn't available. The throw was on its way. Runs accumulated in this over, but not off the bat. Not so much. 13 for 2.
Nice start by the Lankan opening bowlers. Need to be really strongly supported by the field. No overthrows, no drop catches, plenty of energy. Get in on the ones. Crandall single in to come back into the attack from the northern end.
The Aussie Cricket League Under 19 2025. It's a triple header today as well. And we promise you some high octane cricket action.
Shot on the back foot, punches it square. Sweeper comes around, picks up 2. Well played.
Looked so elegant while he played that shot. You've got to admire the courage of Crandall as well to be risking the predictability factor. We talked about the thin line between predictability and consistency, and in T20 cricket it's also about being unpredictable.
Oh.
When the conditions are offering so much, Crandall's saying, let me persist outside off and the magic will happen. This time it almost did, Grant.
Yeah, it was looking to drive on the offside and thick inside edge. Still picked up a single. Gary Bohr, but certainly nicely bowled there by single win. Brings Cronin Stone back on strike. It's all going to be all about a partnership at the moment. It's for the Kiwi Warriors. It's build this partnership here between Cronenstone and Bohr. No unnecessary risks.
I thought they would want to maximise the power play. That hasn't been the case. They've been kept quiet by some brilliant bowling by the Pacers. Throws the bat at it and does rightfully. That was there to be hit, Grant.
Yeah, that's what I call a risk-free shot, because he really did have plenty of width, and if he threw the bat at it hard enough, he was likely to get a result. It's the good ball that I'm suggesting you don't have to overplay. Keep those good balls out, try and get a single off them, but a bad ball takes full toll.
Some sort of momentum in this over for the Kiwi Warriors. 7 runs achieved. All of the bat. This is good adjustment by batters as well.
Nicely played, just off the back foot, little punch. That's a good ball. No unnecessary risks at this stage. Rana Cronenstone.
Technique-wise, Grant, how is it usually in New Zealand? Just like in England, they suggest let the ball come to you rather than you go towards the ball. Let it do its thing and then you negotiate.
Yeah.
How is it in New Zealand? Is it the same thought process?
Very yeah. And it's all dictated by the wickets, and the wickets are very similar because the weather conditions aren't dissimilar. I mean, to England and New Zealand, and if you get some of those green wickets, then yeah, it's in England. My year of playing cricket in England, the soil. First thing I noticed was the soil was a lot more brown than black, like rich, like it is here. It's more like a brown soil, so obviously it plays. And what I found, it didn't really help my cricket in Australia, because with the brown soil, you could get forward all the time. You basically played most of your shots off the front foot in county style cricket. And what I found was my hands were getting too low in Australia, and I was coming through and flicking me. So although I got a lot of time in the middle over in England, it didn't really help me, because I found I had to adjust when I got back to the bouncing wicket. So from what I know of the New Zealand wickets, they're probably closer to the England wickets than ours because of the conditions. So yeah, and now black soil, this is a Merry Creek soil.
Right.
And this Merry Creek soil takes a lot of water. It dries quickly, so you have to pump a lot of water in to keep it together so it doesn't fracture and break up. I love talking to the groundsmen. They are unique people, groundsmen, and what they don't know about wickets and preparing grass doesn't matter. Lenny Winton into the attack. Driving is straight to the short mid-on, and that is out.
The captain's putting himself in hot spots, and he's also converting the opportunities into full-fledged wickets. This was by no stretch of imagination an easy catch. What a take. In the second attempt, had it under control.
And good call, Suez, in the hot spot. Look at this. Beautiful, well pitched. Went at the ball, and that's the third really good catch we've seen by the Lankans. They're holding on to those catches, and that's going to could very well make the difference between a win and a loss. Winton threw the ball above the eye line, down the ground and straight to that short fielder close in.
It's been a masterclass of field setting this so far by the Lankan Lions. The captain himself has put him in such difficult situations and positions to field, and he's done excellently well. One is gully, where the ball comes quickly at you and from an angle that if you're not used to catching the ball from, you might end up falling on top of it and the ball will evade you. And then this catch. He's still in the eye line of the batter. He's still in the eye line of the batter while he's trying to meet the ball. He backed himself there, the batter, to get the elevation.
And what a start for Lenny Wilton. Wicket off his very first ball, and he threw that up. That's what I really liked about that. They often talk about effectiveness of spinners, and when you bowl it above the eye line, the batter has to really readjust. Well, the lies lit up for Gary Bohr there, and bang, hit it straight to the close infielder. Good captaincy.
Excellent captaincy indeed. And also the fact that it's come at an awkward height. He had to jump to make sure that he compensates for the fact that the fingers are pointing upwards. Yes, that's the Aussie way of catching, as the world calls it. But he had to compensate for that too, while he was in the air as he completed that catch. Or perhaps the first contact, not when he completed the catch. I think that's marvellously done. Such a shrewd cricketer.
And he's followed it up with 2 dot balls. New batter, Sam Payne, batted really nicely yesterday.
Harry's wearing many hats, isn't he?
He is, yeah. So Sam, who looked a little bit tired in the field, I've got to say. Let's see how he approaches his batting. He started quite well. Down the ground, quite well. Let's call that very well, because that's gone for 6, straight down the ground.
Alright, if the opportunity is given to use his long levers, he will not shy away from it. This is bread and butter for Payne. He's suggesting I would have hit that even if there was a long off, let alone when there is none.
Oh, Wilton tempting again. Nice piece of bowling. 1 wicket for 6. Just the one scoring shot, but it was the maximum. So 3 for 26. Payne and Cronin Stone. There's one of our part of our wildlife, magpie, surveying the ground. And looks like we have a change of bowler coming in from the northern end.
The most hated bird in Melbourne, the magpie, unless you follow them. Collingwood we're talking about, Grant.
Yeah, of course. I knew. I was all over it, Dan.
I know you were, mate.
I knew exactly what you were saying.
Like a CS, a cheap suit.
Given that I'm a Carlton supporter, I knew exactly what you were saying.
In some trouble again, the Kiwi Warriors, in regard to their top order batting. Tell you what, that catch by the wicketkeeper first ball, how good was that? And spoken about the fact that take ownership of it. And he just wanted that catch, and then the second one, still can't believe that they held on to it despite the 2 players clambering into each other.
Yeah. Well, I think, to your point, they really wanted it. They were hungry for the ball. And that's really important. Want the ball to come to you, and when you see it coming, you're saying, I've got this. So positive talk.
You're right about this man being the key man, isn't he, after he batted so well yesterday.
Seeing them really well. That's a nice little dab outside off stump. Might be he's not quite a morning person, Sam, potentially. But he's starting to come good now, maybe.
Which I'm not normally, and I've had to be this week. I'll tell you one thing, getting up and having a run has been a godsend, because you're pumped up, and obviously you've got the endorphins moving, and
driving. Cronin Stone. He looks like a sort of very well equipped player too, and think they just must have to be saying someone's got to bat deep in this innings. Why not make it Cronin Stone? That they can bat around him, because Sam Payne, he'll go for them. And the ball's there to be hit.
Missed out in the first 2 matches, Cronin Stone. Maybe it's his time today.
Play and miss.
Oh.
That was a really good ball. Cut back. How'd you see it, Dan?
Well,
right, it's right on your eye line, isn't it? Pretty much.
Well, it was as good a ball as we've seen, I reckon. And I think it was just a bit too good for Cronin Stone. That's why he wasn't able to get an edge on that. Sometimes the bowling can be so good, you're just not quite good enough to get an edge, which is a good thing, obviously.
Well bowled, Krishna Sridhar. And again.
Oh, that was...
And again.
Maybe even better, if possible. Caught a
Sridhar.
peach.
Beautiful piece of bowling.
Bit of tail in, wasn't it? Just a little bit. Must be thinking, what do I have to do to get a wicket after that?
Do the same thing, because they weren't far from the edge. Let's take a look. Little tuck off the hip. I think there was bat.
Yep.
Yes, there was. So that's a single. Cronin Stone retains the strike, and a very good over by Krishna Sridhar. No wicket for 3.
So they need 103 off 85 balls, 130 for Sri Lanka, a 6 off the last ball by Muna Singha. Their innings again was just okay, as I've said a couple of times. Players getting in, but not really getting going. They haven't got a 50 from anyone in the tournament yet, the Lankan Lions.
And it's a pretty critical game, as you were alluding to in your preview, because we've got the Pakistani Sultans on 4 and the Indian Tigers on 4 in Pool A. In Pool B, we've got the Lankan Lions on 4 and the Afghanistan Eagles on 4 and the Kiwi Warriors on 2.
Who've got the better net run rate by a fair way.
They have too.
Yeah.
Their Warriors run rate is 0.927 as opposed to the Lankan Lions 0.151. So a win will take the Warriors into the next, will lift them into second place, or maybe even first place actually. So yeah, very important game, as you were alluding to, Dan, in your preview.
I was talking to Harry about the app. I'll tell you about that in a second. Because he said you can actually calculate what a team might need, but obviously in this situation, it's going to be hard work from here for the Warriors. They just have to win because of the better net run rate, but if they're behind and they need to win, you can calculate what they need to do, and if a team makes 130, what do they need to win the game in to pass them in the net run rate?
Yep.
It's excellent. Part of why this tournament's expanding all the time. Social media is important. Technology is important.
He was lucky. He was just sort of tugged away. He was looking to go. I fell on the offside there, but dragged it onto the onside for a single. Could easily have gone to hand.
I just think if he gets in Payne, he's starting to. He's damn hard to shift. Like his pads are in the way then, Cronin Stone. Doing a good job, Lenny Wilton.
Yep, single, onside, little chip, and that's better from Cronin Stone. I just would love to think that the conversation is, I'll stay here, I won't take unnecessary risks, I'll hit the bad ball. Sam, you go if you feel that you're confident enough, you're in good form. 3 for 23 of 7.
When does he start to go? Does he wait another couple of overs yet? I mean, there's still a fair way away. 99 needed off 13 overs.
Do you mean Cronenstone or
No,
Payne?
no, Payne.
Look, I think Payne was in good form, so he just plays his, let's say, natural game, and it's a bit of a high risk, high reward game he plays. But what I'm wanting from Cronenstone, I want him not out, because if he's not out, I reckon they win.
Yeah.
He's not out, they win. So he doesn't need to hit good balls unnecessarily, take those risks against those. Someone high in the order's got to bat through. So push a single, gets Payne on strike. There's plenty of singles out there. There's one. Okay. Good work. I like the way he's thinking. Brings Payne on to strike.
And they were positive straight away, and it forced the error in the field too, which was the other bonus there for the Kiwi Warriors. It wasn't fielded cleanly.
And that's a wide. Down leg side. Krishna Sridhar's bowled really well.
Perfect day for cricket today, isn't it?
It's
It's very high cloud cover too. I haven't heard that showers are predicted here today. It is Melbourne though.
It's the outside edge, just down to deep third man. Drew the false stroke, but no fielders in close there as per usual in the T20s.
It's interesting the way most of the keepers are keeping with their pads inside their pants nowadays. Changing all the time the attire.
Nice shot, driven. And that's a nice roll. The Cronenstone can play now, just starting to get some confidence, get his eye in.
How much more mobility did you have when the wicket-keeping pads came in?
Yeah, much better. Well, when first saw Rod Marsh run, I thought, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, much better. Well taken, down leg. It's a wide again.
I think Steve Rickson was another one who got on with them pretty quickly too. There's a guy that might have been a bit unlucky, didn't play a bit more test cricket. Born in the wrong era.
Stumper Rickson.
Very good keeper.
When I think about it, you never got, very rarely would you ever get hit above the knee, so you don't need that, the batting pad part. Driving straight to the fielder, but nice shot. For no run, good cricket.
With a shot like that, even though it deserved a boundary, doesn't pick up a run, does that give you confidence when it goes out of the meat of the bat like that? You got your foot to the pitch and your head still?
Definitely. Absolutely. Beautifully bowled.
Yeah, he's beaten the outside edge a few times now, hasn't he?
You can call the replay, Dan, or let's have a look. Did it actually angle in, move away, or just keep its line?
He's a bit frustrated, isn't he? Just thinking, I'm not far away here. Oh, I thought it kept its line there, and then it sort of lifted a bit more.
Yep.
After it got past the outside edge.
Yep. Beautiful ball. The air down the ground. Actually behind him, behind square. Point for one. So really good over. Krishna Sridhar, none for 8, none for 9 off his 2, and just bowled a beautifully consistent line and length.
Impressed with Wilton with his off spin. Gives him another option, obviously, as his cricket career continues to develop. Started with the LePage Park Cricket Club in the very famous cricket team based at Cheltenham in the southern suburbs of Melbourne, down near the beach.
Let's see if he throws one up here and it really tempts Payne. Oh, yes he does. Yes he does. Payne resists. Slightly different line. I think we'll see a different result. And then straight could come into play. There they go down the ground in misfield there. Short cover. The sweeper will pick it up though. For 2.
It's a good return too. The captain, Sujan.
It's a cat and mouse going on here. Wilton not afraid to throw it up. Payne not afraid to have a big swing. Down a long on.
I have no doubt, Grant, there are some opportunities here for him. He did hit one on the roof, didn't he?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Oh no, he can certainly hit the ball.
That was the one we thought, geez, mishit that, just looking at his reaction.
Oh, good shot. Get him back on strike. Well played.
It's a small sample, but just getting the impression young Arana Cronin-Stone, I mean, he didn't really get in the first 2 innings. Now that he's in, he's got some nice shots in his repertoire.
$13 off 15 for Payne. Last ball of this over. Swing and a miss outside off stump. Good over. Lenny Wilton. Varied his pace, his flight, his line really nicely then. Current run rate under 5. Required 8. 89 of 66. Doable. Doable if they've got wickets in hand.
Would you bowl any? He's only got 1 to go. A lot of teams have done that in this tournament.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they have. Well, I'm going to go the early crow here, Dan, and say if Arana Cronin-Stone is there with at least 2 overs to go, the Kiwi Warriors will win. He's in. He's looking good. Let's see if he can play a role for his team.
So you're willing to put something in the WinViz, which has re-emerged. Now we're into the second innings.
Oh yeah, my WinViz has got the caveat. See, you're gamer than me. You just go with your WinViz.
Well, there's no caveat in the WinViz. If you throw a caveat in the WinViz, it malfunctions. It doesn't work, Grant.
Oh, you get tilt. Does it go into tilt? Does it?
Does. No caveat.
Oh, righto.
Arana Cronin-Stone or not. Good luck to the young man, though.
That's it. It's good bowling. So just keep the ball bowling out.
I've really been impressed with Krishna Sridhar. Another one of these barrel-chested bowlers that generates good pace.
And control. I've been impressed with his control. Been terrific. Good nice shot. Back foot drive. Out to cover. Cover sweeper. Like it. I'm liking it. Arana. And while he's sort of anchoring and he's looking confident, that's bringing confidence to his team. They're saying, oh, yeah, this is playable. This is doable.
Had a good tournament, Sam Payne.
He's all eyes and he doesn't, not a great mover of the feet, but when he hits them, they do stay hit.
But the head is generally still, which is an important aspect, of course. I mean, you've got to move your feet, but He's doing a good job there.
I'd see him out, Shredder. 3 to go. Just see him out. As I say, no unnecessary risk. If they're bad ball, yep, hit it. Well played. Good thinking.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
That's very good innings management by Sam Payne.
What they're doing at the moment, they're playing with soft hands. They're just playing in front of the wicket. Good cricket shots. No risk along the ground.
And that's exactly right, Dan. And they're playing with awareness. Awareness of what the situation in the game is at the moment.
It's a beautiful shot.
Yep. Let's pick up one. That'll do us.
87 needed in 62 balls. Still the run rate at 8.46 is a bit mountainous. Current run rate 4.58, but it's no risk cricket in the middle overs at the moment. And there's still enough batting remaining.
Might be mountainous, but it's not out of control.
No, it's not.
Particularly if you've got wickets in hand. Feeling his patience might be wearing thin there. Anyway, he's got away with that. And Shredder, 3 overs down, none for 12. Really lovely bowling. Sam Payne, 14 off 19. Cronin Stone, 16 off 26. That's the 10 overs down, 3 for 45 at the same time. 4 for 75.
Gee.
The Lankan Lions were 4 for 75 at the same time.
But remember, they had that bad collapse and just managed to get to 130 thanks to a Moona Singer 6 at the very end. Thank you, Grant. The great Grant O'Hara will have a rest. Suhas will join us again shortly. Battling with a little bit of a cold today, the great man. We hope he's okay. So,
.45 for 3 at the halfway stage.
there's us. Don't know why you're on me. I'm as ugly as a hatful, but anyway.
Sachin Kumar Yadav setting an example of the utilization of resources. I think he can write a chapter in my books of economics.
Is he an economist?
No, but the utilization of resources is a topic. The maximum utilization of resources. Add the word minimum in there. Maximum utilization of minimum resources.
So you've done an economics degree?
Yes.
I did economics at school and struggled a bit.
I
Long
did.
time since I've done it too. It was, 39 years this year. I remember supply and demand. That was important. Very basic part of economics.
I did BA Economics Honours.
Did you?
Yeah. And then shifted to mass communication. Economics, she didn't love me back.
Yeah, I struggled a bit with the economics. I didn't do it in year 11. I did it in year 12. I battled a bit in the exams in year 11. And then they let me go up to year 12 after my father said it would be better for him. And Dad said on the proviso you do year 12 economics because he did an economics degree later in life, in his 30s, when he came to Australia. We were very young and he had a family and he was working, and as a mature age student.
You have an Irish background, don't you?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. On my father's side. My mother's Irish as well, but not immediately. I mean, she
really good ball.
Born and bred here. Whelan. So they're that 4th generation. Lonigan, of course, Dad came in here as a 10-pound pom in 1964. And for those that don't know what the 10-pound pom is, it was an immigration scheme. By the way, it's 3 for 47 after 11. The New Zealand team, still needing 84 or 54, it was an immigration scheme brought in by Sir Robert Menzies, our longest-serving Prime Minister in this country, in the 50s, encouraging people, encouraging Europeans to come in on a plane or on a boat, and it would cost them $10 for a fee to come in, and then an opportunity for them to develop a new life, and lots of families did it.
Nice.
Lots of English families, lots of Dutch families. One of our best rock bands in this country were made up of Dutch and English immigrants who came out here.
I see.
So Crandall's back in. Had a terrific tournament. And as we've been saying, Suhas, this partnership vital for the Kiwi Warriors' chances.
It's already 9 and over required. You can't pick and choose the bowlers that you want to hit away from now on. It's got to be bang bang cricket. 9.4 the required rate, and I think despite the conditions mimicking the Kiwi conditions, Wellington-like conditions, despite that, it's the Lankan Lions who have adapted better. Only height and no distance. Lot of ground covered, and he's completed the catch. The catching has been remarkable today from the Lankan Lions, and that's one chapter that will continue. Payne gone for 15.
And he's disappointed. He banged his bat against his pad in intense frustration, Sam Payne. They've caught everything that's moved today, the Lankan Lions. 4 very, very good catches that on any other day might be dropped, but today they've got their confidence up. Wicketkeeper took a blinder. The two fielders at long off and long on collided. The catch was still taken. The hot spot catch, called brilliantly by Suhas, was taken by the skipper.
And the
close.
only thing that I could catch in Australia so far is cold.
You have caught a cold, haven't you? And then, of course, the catch down in the deep. Payne hit that well. He decided he needed to go, but he just picked out a fielder, which was unfortunate. Out for 15 of 24. And Crandall Sigelwyn gets another wicket. Look at the run rate now, 9.69. It's, I don't know where the big fella.
They got themselves into this difficult position there, Kiwi Warriors.
The big fella I'm referring to is Kajil, who's the owner of the Afghanistan Eagles. He'd be quite content at the moment. His team 1 foot in the semi-finals tomorrow. Set to play Pakistan or India. That'll be decided at the last match of the pool competition this afternoon. Both
what a
undefeated.
contest.
Yeah, it's going to be a beauty. Going to be a beauty.
Saving the best for the last.
We are. Now, here's Timothy O'Leary. We know can hit a big ball.
That's what he needs to do. But he's also being manacled. That's the length, that's the line.
It's actually Sridhar, not Sigelwyn, who's bowling at the moment. And they've done the right thing here, Suhas, bowling him out.
It's very surprising that you can trounce an opposition that's gleefully smiling at the toss after winning it, saying now this is home conditions. But at the moment, the Warriors need to script a fight back, and they're far from doing so because the bowling has been excellent. And it continues to be. Every single, you could sense that even a run is becoming a struggle. It's not without resistance. The sense of ease that you would want with Kiwi Warriors approaching this game is something that's clearly missing. Credit to Lankan Lions, kudos to their skipper.
Well, the fielding's been red hot too. I mean, they've caught everything, as we've said already. And they haven't been easy catches either. That wicket-keeping catch, he ran 30 metres to catch that, and he had no intention of dropping it. And said, get out of my way. And this is flicked away into the onside, and there's no run. Getting a delivery that was Yorker length. Had him shifting in the crease. Cronin Stone, as Grant O'Hara has said, he's got to anchor this innings now. 16 off 29. So he's going at just over 50%, but he's still there and he's looked quite accomplished. That's a better shot. He goes down the ground, dissecting the field, but again, long off and long on combined, and they ensure there's only one run. Long off was there to back up. Long on was able to field.
12 overs later, 49 for 4.
Now my WinViz is saying it's 75-25 for what it's worth in favour of
It's come
the
out.
Lankan Lions. It's
I
out.
thought
It's out.
I thought it doesn't work on cloudy days.
Well, no, it does work on cloudy days, but it doesn't work with a caveat.
Ah, I
Because
see.
Grant had a caveat. He said his man Cronin Stone,
Yeah.
with the greatest respect, now that Sam Payne's out, I just think that it's risen another 15% in favour of the Lankan Lions to remain undefeated, who just know how to win these matches, whether you're senior or under 19 ACL tournaments or games. They haven't lost too many
It's
over
a
the years,
great
have they?
habit to instill in the under 19 boys
Yeah.
itself, and it's somewhat translating to the bigger sides, the higher ranked sides too.
Well, they were gone for all money in the opening game against the Pirates when they were only chasing
Yeah.
99, and Big Crandell said, "Not on my watch are we going to lose," and he, out of nowhere, just crept up on us. That win.
20 runs in 5 deliveries, targeting the straighter boundaries. Oh, that was in the air. That's the first drop, if you want to call it one.
Oh, a bit harsh. I know it's, what is it, a quarter of a chance?
Got his hand to it, and that deserves a bravery award because that was struck very cleanly, very hard.
Oh, no, he got a bit of it, didn't he? A bit more than that.
Saves a certain boundary.
Yeah. Bit more stretching and he takes the catch.
Timothy O'Leary on strike now, and Timothy is counting with his fingers where exactly the fielders are. But the question is, the required rate is asking him to clear the fins. Not worry about the fielders at all. Put them way past the boundary rope. Develop a sense of disrespect for the boundary rope.
Well, he was trying, but he was trying to play that across the line. He needs to clear deep mid-wicket, deep backward, square, long on is where he's aiming. Particularly,
Surprised that he didn't offer a shot to this one.
yep, particularly deep mid-wicket and long on.
I don't think that the Kiwis can accommodate a ball like that at this stage. 10.5 is the required rate. 81 and 46 is the equation. Is backing away too much perhaps. This time has he found the gap. A lot of power in there. The outfield is not the fastest in that region. We've discussed that before. And this over, it's more about getting hurt for the bowler. First, that catch. Now collecting the throw has also become a problem because it's painful. It stings. I think it stings a lot more when it's not a catch.
Having fun though, big smile on his face.
That's the way he loves to play his cricket.
Oh,
He got a lot of bat behind this one. He might have gone off balance as he played it. But boy, is that a shot and a half.
I don't think Tim O'Leary believes in using your feet, Suhas, but he believes in using those big levers of his, the solidly built frame of his, and make it look as awkward as possible, provided the bat can get plenty of it and clear the fence, which it did. That was an extraordinary shot.
And he almost lost balance. Luckily didn't fall on the stumps. That would have been a very Inzamamul Haq kind of a dismissal. But that's a big hit for 6. And you talked about scoring those runs despite looking ugly. So the runs are what the scorecard wants. And we'll keep the chat live here. 13 overs later, 58 for 4. Some momentum for the Warriors with that 6 in the over.
Doesn't matter how you get them, as long as you get them. Remember
Exactly. And someone who recently retired from ODI cricket.
Steve Smith.
Absolutely. Might not be the most erudite to watch in terms of in terms of the textbook, but he knew his ways of scoring runs.
Sure did. I mean, that inside-out shot that he played was as awkward and as ugly as I've seen, but
But he somehow gets
Yeah.
the bat down at the right time, and the percentage on the ball of that willow is so much that the ball is struck very hard. From different positions, the bat would eventually come down straight.
Correct.
That's unbelievable. That's Steve Smith for you.
I know we're comparing apples with oranges, but Alan Turner was an opener for Australia in the 70s, and there was a little article written in Crick Info about his century, his only century in Test cricket against the West Indies in 1976 in Adelaide. 136. Alan Turner hit a century in a left-handed, awkward type of way, and he was asked in an interview for a book about how he felt about that. He said, "That's all right. I got 100, didn't I? It doesn't matter how awkward it was.
Interesting.
I've still got 100 to my name."
I think it's a genius to find your own way to not just survive but thrive in international cricket while all the others are doing their level best to figure you out.
Correct.
That is Steve Smith for you. For someone who started off as a leg spinner in a country that's generated a legend for a leg spinner, decides to become an opening batter, decides to bat up the order, if not opening, decides to become a batter first up, concentrates on that art form and thrives.
I know he was young, 21 when he made his debut in that Test series in England against Pakistan, where it was a very controversial Test series, of course, and those players were banned. Salman Butt being one of them and Mohammad Asif being the other. It was a terrible time for Pakistan cricket before Misbah took over and changed the culture. He's 21, and you thought he's got a bit of potential, but he's a long way from it. A long way from it. Little do we know he's become one of our greatest. Good bowling here. Beaten outside the off stump.
Now, of course, you'd still see the legend Steve Smith is operating in other formats of the game, just not ODI anymore.
Wickramasundara's bowling.
Now, Wickramasundara he's got to stick with that line only when he's bowling to Timothy. Only when he's bowling to Cronenstone, I beg your pardon, because Timothy has got the power and the bottom hand game as well. If that's the line and more so the length, then he will punch the ball harder and it'll travel.
70 netted off 38, 4 for 61.
Oh, well, how did that miss the stumps? Vijay Singha is searching for luck.
Yeah, took the bottom edge and was very, very close. Riding some luck. Tim O'Leary. Gone. Caught behind, driving, played away from the body, and good catch taken.
Timothy in trouble. Yes, he had to go for that shot. The slower delivery. Swings the bat a little early, and the catching has been excellent by the keeper today. The Warriors lose off their side for 61.
Senavirathana, the wicket keeper, who batted in the middle order, took that unbelievable catch as we mentioned earlier and just made that look quite easy, didn't he, Suhas?
Absolutely did. And he ensured that he shouts mine in a manner that no one even dares come near him. I thought what made that catch more difficult for the keeper is the cloudy sky. The ball and the sky were almost of the same color.
It's very overcast, but pleasant. I don't think we're any chance here of getting rain because the cloud cover is very high. I've been told we won't get any rain today, but as I've said a couple of times, you are in Melbourne, and who knows. So a new over, 14 gone, 11.67, that run rate rising dramatically.
What does the weatherman say every time when you...
Are in Melbourne?
Yeah, when you're in Melbourne. Does he finish with you're in Melbourne and you never know? That's a good shot. Work to do for long on, long off. Both of them meet each other, play rock, paper, scissors, only to realize who's going to pick up and get the throw done. No chance. That was hit straight as an arrow.
Well, if you want to experience 4 seasons, just hang around in Melbourne for a day, because you're likely to get it. While I was talking of getting it, he got it. Nice boundary by Cronin Stone.
Such a compact cricketer, Cronin Stone. Look at this.
High and long and 6. Just cleared the fielder, who made a good effort to try and get near that long on.
The 6 looked effortless though. Cronin Stone getting into the act. More drama here. If Cronin can get bigger and bigger 6s. All eyes were on the man who can muscle the ball a long way. He did get 1 6, Timothy. But now that he's back in the hunt, it has to be Cronin.
That looked higher than longer, but it had enough on it to clear the rope.
Long on, slightly wider, hence it's only a single.
He's decided he might need to go here, and he is going.
Yeah, 10.5 and over required. Still possible with 5 wickets in hand for a team that bats so deep.
Saad Muhammad Asif, who bowled quite well. So Cronin Stone 30 off 36. Make it 31 off 37. 5 for 72.
Sporting an extra batter, the Warriors.
Yes, Josh Campbell coming in today. Mystery. The mystery man, or the impact player when it comes to bowling. Josh Campbell, the impact player when it comes to batting. We've only got 12 players here too.
Oh, very good delivery. Just curtails the batter's options there. And a single is a lovely result for a Lankan line at this stage. .58 in 32. It's been done before with 5 wickets in hand, and in ACL under 19, difficult situations demand some brilliant batting, and that's what we've seen happen before. He's found the gap. He's found the gap. It's the outfield that has betrayed him.
Deserved a boundary then, didn't he?
Surely did for that cracking hit. 75 for 5.
It's a Cushion Madagali, just by process of elimination, who's the bowler who's been bowling his spin from this southern end, and again an impact player for the Lankan Lions. I'll step out. The great man's ready to keep going here. He is a trooper, despite the fact that he's a little bit Captain Hook today, which is
Captain Hook.
Captain Hook. It's an Australian phrase
For being under the weather?
No, but for being crook.
Oh, okay.
It's Aussie slang. Haven't you heard that? Captain
No,
Hook, crook.
no, Captain Hook, no. That's new for me.
Rubber dub, pub. All these Australian terms. 5 for 75, and here's Grant to come back in.
Five for 75, a run of Cronin Stone anchoring the innings, but he does need some help now by the looks. Very doable, still 10 runs and over. So 50 required.
Has he left the win-with stat here? Has he left a win-with stat here for you, Grant?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't let me have my caveat. He wouldn't. Apparently WinViz can't have any.
Your caveat's still out there, though.
It is, the caveat is still there, but the caveat's going to need some support. As if, can he add some support? Well,
Marvellous! Vijay Singh has found out that the 4th stump line, sooner than later. In T20 cricket, you don't wait for things to happen, you make them happen. But this game's gone into a situation where a dot ball is also a mental win for the Lankan Lions.
Yeah, that's right. Oh well, single win.
First sign of sun. Remarkable this. If you could watch a spell and pick somebody for longer format, would be this.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. He's not doing bad in the shorter format either. 1 for 8 off his 2.
Outstanding.
Okay.
The Kiwi Warriors are searching for a hero here. Can it be Cronenstone? 33 of 39. He's taken his time, he's been there. He's played almost every bowler. Now it's up to him to put the finishing touches. Last time, you remember, Harry Kidd playing a good innings. Now in a run chase, can Cronenstone play that very innings? Don't look at 33 of 39 and say perhaps he's been a little slow. Might be the reason they're in this position. No, the required rate is 12 and a set batter is required because it's not the kind of surface you can start slogging from first ball. The sun is out.
Yeah, my view is that a runner is playing a role and playing his role. He just needs some support like that. He's gone down the ground. No. It looks like he's not the type of player that, that is necessarily about the big shot.
The one who looked like clearing every fence in the world is back in the hut.
Yep.
Timothy.
Yep. Yeah, O'Leary, and Sam Payne also.
He's more like Hardik Pandya, Cronenstone, in terms of the physique. But boy, can Hardik hit the ball a long way. Cronen's hit 1-6. He's called for 2, but I don't think the second is available here. He's hit it really hard. (53 in 25). This game is getting very special here from Saad Mohammad Asif and Cronenstone.
Oh, well bowled. Very hard to get anything under that. Asif, yep, play that well.
Oh, a couple of things have been spoken.
But well bowled.
78 for 5.
And so, as we approach the 17th over, it's one of the next 2 overs that they need to have a big result from now, the Kiwi Warriors. And looks like it's going to be the medium pacers that are going to take the bowling, up the bowling, and the defence of this score. 53 runs, 24 balls. One big over can change things very quickly, as we've all seen in this format of the game. Number 47 coming into the attack. Looks like it might be Diaz, the new bowler. And he'll be pushing in from the southern end of the ground. 13 runs required, over 2 runs a ball. So Cronenstone's done very well. I said around that sort of 16, 17, 18 over mark. He needs to be there. Well, he's done a job now. I think I'm going to bring forward my summation to the 16th over. Let's go. Wide. Starts the over with a big wide. And that was a big wide. Diaz sort of bowls, comes in and has that little skip.
I think this over is going for 15 to 20 runs.
Warriors.
Well bowled. Bit him on length. Not necessarily on line there, but beaten on length.
ऐसे ही करते रखते बैट है
Full pitch. Down the ground. Just pick up a single. See if Asif has got a big shot in him or two. Big swing.
yes
Foot going more towards leg because there is some space on the offside. There's only two fielders out on the offside, the deep cover and the deep long off. Space behind point. Slow ball, drives. Let me pick up one. Well bowled. Good variation of speed there by Diaz.
The variations are key. And Diaz has also come into ball at a good time for him. Knows the importance of this over. If this over does not go for too many, then the Warriors will worry.
Shot. Full pitch, gone for 4. That's a good result.
Yeah, the full toss had to be put away. Had the width as well that he required. Struck very cleanly. No chance for the fielder deep. Despite trying his level best, the ball was travelling.
And it's nearly a no ball height too. Umpires must have had a second look at that. Misfield out there.
He's very still, Cronenstone.
Slow ball again, and he does him with speed again, and that's a really good finish. Quite deceptive. Diaz charges in, and nice deceptive delivery when he's slow pitch.
Where are we?
Nowhere. You're worried about yourself, aren't you? Yeah, no,
No, no.
Oh, yes, got the gap.
The slow outfield is definitely not helping the Warriors here. There have been so many shots today that would have disappeared for 4 on other grounds.
It's right now where we need a couple of maximums, I think, Suas.
Inside out.
Using the crease, just down for 1.
He's trying his level best to dig it out as well. The bowling, that bowling has been excellent.
Very good.
Variations, check. Precision, check.
Control, check.
Yeah, the control aspect too.
So I think Arana's going to invent something here, whether it's a, if he's got a reverse sweep or a ramp in his repertoire. If he does, now's the time to use it. That's if there's a wide, there's a re-bolt.
Yeah, sometimes you're so remarkable that you allow yourself that mistake, and the keeper has done exactly that.
I think Asif is going to invent something here too, whether it's just shuffling across the crease, trying to give himself some room, try and find some space in that outfield, because the boundary's very important. He got a leading edge. Was aiming onside, it's ended up down at third man off the leading edge. Well bowled again.
It's not for the lack of trying, but the precision is hurting the Warriors big time.
And close to 3 runs a ball now.
The Lankan Lions have been excellent in their plans and the execution of the plans.
In the air, it's just going to get a couple of bounces and down for 1 as well. Thick outside edge.
Harish plays for Frankston. Gets the throw in. It's been a very kind sun today.
Beats the field up. Wilton dived over the top of it. There's a boundary. Shuffling across and around the crease there. Asif. Got enough bat on it. Goes down leg side.
Easy pickings, but they need more of this, the Warriors. They won't complain at all. Perhaps the first poor delivery in the entire over, and the right result has been achieved.
Yeah, he may have been seeing Asif shuffle back and forth across the crease, which means that you're nearly taking, when you start doing that, you're going to take the wide ball out of play, pretty much. Ramping, no, missed it. Well, now we need a big couple of overs, Suez.
This is a good last ball. Moved very late, actually, nothing wrong. Didn't get the connection. And it's a very good call. You said that it is going to be a ram shot around the corner. Asif did try it.
Yeah, it looks like it's not something that he's...
Your caveat is still out there, though.
The
96 for 5.
The caveat's still there, and the caveat now, it looks like... I can see why Dan doesn't allow the caveat.
Cronstone 40 or 46. Clearly, he's the one to put the finishing touches to this game.
Okay, they need a 20 plus run over here, you would think. Let's see if we can get off to a good start. It's Diaz back. He just bowls with that skip and then that pace variation, which has worked for him last over. Down the ground. Just a single along the ground. Now Asif, where is his hitting zone? What is he going to target? Is it square of the wicket? Is it down the ground? Down the ground. Hits it straight past the stumps. They're looking to come back for 2, a misfield. On the return, there's never 2 in it. Would have been suicide. Now, let's take a look at Cronstone. Is he going to invent something? Is he going to look for a ramp? Is he going to use his crease? All these things going through his mind, but once the bowler comes in to bowl, he can't mix up his thoughts. He's got to be really clear on what he's trying to achieve. This is interesting. Bring the square leg sweeper back in.
The Maximilian Diaz is someone who's a master of changing pace. Maximilian Diaz, the death bowling specialist versus the Kiwi Warriors.
Look, that's just too hard. That's just such good bowling. I'm not sure where else he could hit that, even if he was. I mean, maybe maybe reverse and try and get it past the keeper and third man, maybe. Oh, well bowled. Looking for the run out. Nope. We'll hold on to the ball. And that'll go down as the umpire's signal. I think he should have signalled a bye. Did he? Or did he hit it? Wouldn't have hit it, I don't think. Well, put it down for as a run. Was it bye? Well,
I thought it was a bye because had that been off the bat, he's out.
No signal by the umpire. That's, yeah. And there he goes. Thank you. There's the bye. Big couple of days, John the umpire. Did a great job. Driving down. That'll go for 4. Should do. It's been a bit slow there. No, it has. I've caught that a couple of times and just hasn't made it the boundary.
31 and 8 now. 29 and 7 now. You look at all these shots that deserved a boundary, but because the slow outfield haven't gone to one, you could easily deduct 12 from it at least.
I don't need Dan Lonergan's win viz here. I think he would be 95-5, 96-4.
Cronenstone still out there, 44. Has to find the boundary here. Slower delivery. Long off will ensure it's only a single. What an over this has been from Dias.
Yeah, Dias. Almost a specialist death bowl bowler. Geez, bowled those overs well. Good captaincy. So 28 required. 6 sixes are 36. They can do it easily with 6 sixes. Suez?
5 sixes.
5 sixes.
They'll be with a ball to spare if sixes are the way to go here.
Good at maths. Someone very good at maths. 6 fives are 30, of course.
Clearly sixes have to feature in there. Now Saad Mohammed and Rana Cronenstone. Cronenstone has hit a spinner away for 6, yes.
So don't invent a shot, just hit it straight down the ground towards the cherry picker.
He's got to be cheeky. Use the area behind
straight down the
square.
ground towards the cherry picker or towards long off.
That's a good catch.
Shame. If he just hit it a little bit straight. That's the end of the Cronenstone innings. And I dare say...
Yeah, it was a very good innings up till a point. And after that, he had to press the accelerator. In the end, became too slow an innings for the liking of the coach. The Warriors 103 for 6.
And I'm very pleased that he played an innings like that. I know he'd be disappointed he got out, but you can't do it all on your own. You need somebody who's going to take the risk at the other end and play the big shot successfully. The two people to do that weren't able to stay out there long enough, basically. So don't be disappointed, Cronenstone. Well done.
Oh, the Yorker.
Might have just got a bit about that, did he? No, he's walking deliberately and giving it runs. So that is runs.
Off the mark, Josh Campbell. Saad Mohammed.
Still a mathematical possibility. Wouldn't it have been funny if he hits this for 6? He's been ducking around the crease. There he goes, moving away, moving sideways. Misses. Now should have a no ball, free hit, or 2. I think we've got our winners.
This has been outstanding fielding effort by the Lankan Lions. The catches that have been taken, the bowling changes that have been made, the field setting, the captain putting himself in the line of fire. It's been an outstanding effort by the Lankan Lions, and they've shown once again that in Aussie Cricket League Under-19, it is a force to reckon with. The side called the Lankan Lions.
Yeah, playing to their strengths. Definitely, I'd be looking to bat first more often if I were the Lankan Lions, because they can show us now that they can certainly defend a total.
And here's another.
Good catch down there, long off again. He's already had practice with one in this over, and he took it comfortably, and he just took that one nicely too. Who was that down there, Suez? Can you?
Vijay Singh, who's also made himself a candidate for the player of the match with another wicket.
Good job.
Now if Vijay Singh can close it out with another wicket, that will be very special for him. A Yorker coming in?
Yorker, yep. I'd say more than likely. If you can land it, why not?
The game's gone out of hand for Kiwi Warriors, of course. It's been a big learning curve this entire tournament.
I really like the way they play the cricket though. They're oh, it's probably taken some glove, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll give that runs, yeah.
Delaying their own win here.
That is it.
That is it, in fact.
That is it.
I thought he didn't make contact at all. But despite the boundary, despite the blip, it's going to be the Lankan Lions who've been terrific in defending the total. They made 131 look up plenty.
Sure did. Won by 21 runs in the end. Thought that they had about par. And it was just one of those cases where the big hitters from the Kiwi Warriors just couldn't get going today. Just had a really light Cronin Stones innings. I think he should be really pleased with it. As I said, you can't do it all on your own. You need some help with some big hitting from the rest of your team. But there's a team that can certainly defend a total. Well, they'll take that into their next game. It looks like they'll go through now, and there's no downside to them winning the toss and batting first and then defending totals, because as you can just see then, there's a very good bowling unit, and the catching was clean. In my stints, I don't recall them really dropping a catch, missing an opportunity. So coming together well, the Lankan Lions. New Zealand Warriors will reflect on that. So under overcast skies, a total of 130, just a little beyond the Kiwi Warriors. Looks like we might be having a little bit of a technical glitch with our scorecards. We have our groundsman out on the ground to prepare the wicket for the next game. We've got two more games here. The Sydney Kangaroos are over there getting warmed up, and so are the Leopards. So that'll be our next game. Let's have a look. There's our scorecard, match summary. Lenny Winton did some runs for the Lions, and Corona Stone, 45 of 51 for the Kiwi Warriors. The bowling, Barsi 2 for 20, and the best bowler, Hetty, for the Lankan Lions at 3 for 23 off 4. So the Lankan Lions, they win by 21 runs. they'll now go through to the semi-finals, and the Kiwi Warriors, who've represented their region, their country extremely well, will go off and reassess and look forward to seeing them again maybe next year. Anyway, let's look forward to our next game now. There's 2 more to come. Stay tuned. Speak to you shortly.
So the Lankan Lions triumph against the Kiwi Warriors with great determination and of course adapting to the conditions better for the Lankan Lions. Welcome to the post-match presentation, and without further ado, it's only right to thank our sponsors who made the ACL Under-19 2025 possible. DAC Real Estate Victoria and Exclusive Immigration. Thank you so much. Let's have a chat with the captain who came second, Ethan of the Kiwi Warriors. Ethan, well, hard luck. And you did win the toss, and at that time, 130 halfway stage. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good toss to win. Fortunately, extras came in quite early on in our bowling innings, and throughout, they just kept on, I guess, falling into our overs, and from there, it was sort of just free runs for them. Yeah.
As far as the batting effort is concerned, you backed yourself to get to 131, didn't you? Because the surface didn't change as much. Having said that, what did you find difficult in terms of scoring runs? Was it the outfield or was it something else?
Yeah, look, Sri Lanka bowled really, really well, and got to take my hats off to them because they did an awesome job in the field with their fielding, and yeah, the bowlers bowled real tight lines, and they were just patient bowlers, and they made it real hard for us to bat. But us batsmen also try to force a lot of shots that probably weren't there to play. So, negatives aside, I think Sri Lanka bowled really well, and we just couldn't triumph that today.
Yeah, Ethan, hard luck, but if you could tell us how this situation is in terms of cricket here, and how was your experience of playing under-19 cricket in this part of the world?
Yeah, obviously it's awesome coming overseas to play cricket in a different place in the world, and obviously looking forward, I'm off to Canada, so just getting different conditions around the world is pretty darn awesome, and to have an awesome group of lads to do it with. Unfortunately, we didn't come here and do what we wanted to do, but nonetheless it was fun while we're here, yeah, that's for sure.
Hope to see you very soon with a revamped side, of course, and with the same energy. All the very best.
Awesome, thank you very much.
The captain who came second, Ethan. Now let's speak to the winning skipper, Sujan. The Lankan Lions in his leadership. Sujan, we would love to know how do you set the field and why do you put your hot spots? The catching was excellent.
Oh, he got hit hard at me, that one. No, we set the field according to, we planned before the game, just in different scenarios, but I just have bowlers that I can rely on, and they know what field they want, so I just set it up and we go from there.
The sheer variety of the bowlers that you have must be a happy headache for you, given the difficult situation that you get into, the equation that the opposition was chasing.
Yeah, it's a pretty good headache to have as a captain. Having 4 spinners and the rest all pace. Everyone, like we have a lot of all-rounders who can actually bowl, so I can rely on all of them. So, yeah.
Every minute's got a different template for you. Today, new heroes emerging. Must be very happy that the team is clicking.
Yeah, very happy that people can step up when it's needed. Like Virosh bowled excellently. We needed him, and he came for us.
Outstanding fielding effort, including the keeper being absolutely magnificent. All the very best for the next one.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The Lankan Lions continue their roar in ACL Under-19. It's time to invite Mr. Harry Sandhu, ACL organizer. Harry, if you could please enter the screen. and he would have a glitzy trophy in his hand, because that is the player of the match trophy, and has to go to Virosh Vijayasinghe. Virosh, absolutely magnificent with the ball in hand, will collect the trophy as he is a judge, the player of the match. Remarkable effort. Virosh, you were generating some pace today, and when the engine is revved up, the slower delivery becomes a better friend for you as well.
Yeah, that put me as well, because it's kind of sloppy. So yeah.
What did the captain tell you, Sujan? Because there's something there's a chat that's always going on when you're bowling.
So he always talk about the line and length stuff. Yeah, we did basics. So
And the basics helped today. Some good catches were taken, apart from the fact that you're outsmarting the batter with a change in pace.
yeah, a lot of slow balls and pace matters. So, and some catches with Bryson, he took some 2 to 3 catches. So yeah, good team game.
It's a great team indeed. All the very best for the next one.
Thank you so much.
Virosh judged the player of the match. That's all we got for you from the post-match presentation. Meet you very shortly with the toss of the second game.